out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning in to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me in effect, as always. My brightest bench brethren, known this dude since 1990. You know what I mean? From back in Philly, my brother Ev. What's going on, good brother?
Peace. Thank you for having me. Good to be here. Hopefully some controvery pops up, you know.
Bro, I'm not messing with you again today, man. Y'all ain't jumping me like y'all did on that fucking Black Star show. Y'all, we not doing that again. West Coast Vern, what's going on? What's poppin'?
What's happening, man? Nice to see you, gentlemen. Ready to shake it up a bit. Let's do it.
All right, no doubt. Vern out of ATL, what's going on, good brother?
Man, it's been a long time since I've been on this mug, so I'm ready to chop it, man. Glad to be here.
No doubt. My brother, I call him the source because he was the first one on Morgan State's campus every single month to have the Source magazine before anybody else had it. I don't know how you did that, bro. I don't know if you knew Benzino, but somehow, some way, you were the first one on campus every month with the Source and the new Slam magazine. You was reading Slam before anybody even knew what the fuck Slam was. I remember hearing about Kareem Reed from reading a Slam one time in class with you. This is why I fucked up in school, because I was reading his sources and slams all day in class when I should have been doing work. But neither here nor there. Kel, what's going on, good brother?
Peace, good brother. It's good to be here. Good to be back.
Yo, I gotta give you a salute, Kel, because you did something that I've never seen done in life. This man does not own a pair of Jordan sneakers solely because he's a Knicks fan and he refuses to give Jordan any money. That's amazing to me, bro. That is amazing to me that you have never brought a pair of Jordans because of that. That's amazing to me. Never. That's crazy. All right, let's get right into it, y'all. This year, what we've been doing what we've been doing for the past 2 months, once a month, we focus on a year. We started with 88, went to 89. Today, we're going to be looking at 1990. For people watching, the reason why we do this, for the old heads and the OGs, we do this as a show to reminisce, for people to understand, like, yo, this is what was going on, or I remember that joint. For the young boys and for the youngins, we do it for the sole purpose of helping them understand what was so important about the beginning days of hip-hop. I'm not saying the 80s are the beginning days. I just didn't want to go all the way back to 83, so we're just starting with 88. I always tell people, you have to, in my opinion, as the old heads, we have to be the GPS for these younger generations. What happens is people get mad, they like this, they like that bullshit. But I'm like, are you taking the time to help take them on that journey? Nah, fuck that. They need to do it themselves. And it's like, they do, but I mean, you got to give people the GPS. You got to at least get them started and to help with that. So that's what we're trying to do here through these shows, kind of give you the GPS on how to get started, with albums to check out and everything like that. Good brother Ev, why don't you set us off tonight, man? What are the top 5 albums from 1990 for you?
The top 5 albums for 1990, and this is for me, and I had to base this off of what I was listening to at that time. Now, of course, there was some bangers that I didn't grab on, so I know there's gonna be some issues. But what I was rocking with during that time was Brand Nubian, One for All, EPMD, Business as Usual, Eric B. and Rock.
Now, which business is that? That's Gold Digger, right? That's Gold Digger.
Yeah, I think that's
Rampage with LL. I want to say that's 90.
Rampage is on that album. Gold Digger is on that album. Manslaughter, Jane 3, Mr.
Right, got you.
Give It to People. Yeah, that was one of my favorite EPMD joints. Eric B. and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. Gangstar, Step in the Arena. And this is also in a slept on, not for me, but this was one of my top albums that I listened to during that time was King T, At Your Own Risk.
Dope. People sleep on King T. And I don't think
he's the reason why we got Alcoholics, that we got the Licks.
Right.
A whole lot of other cats. Yeah.
And truth be told, Big said he got a lot of his beginning stages from King T. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to do some family tree shows to where people think you may not know how much stuff actually came out under this person, but kind of do some connect the dot shows real quick for that again. So real quick, what are your 5 again?
My 5 is Brand Nubian, One for All, EPMD, Business as Usual, Eric B and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Gangstar, Step in the Arena. I don't know if I might have missed that one. Gangstar, Step in the Arena, and King T, At Your Own Risk.
What are your favorite songs off of each one of those?
Off of Brand Nubian, it has to be One for All. EPMD is going to be Rampage. Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em is going to be, it's between Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em and Mahogany. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Mahogany's on that joint too. It's probably Mahogany, to be honest with you. Step in the Arena, it's probably Check the Technique. It might be Check the Technique. And King T is going to be the title track, At Your Own Risk.
All right, no doubt. Atlanta Vern, what do you have for your top 5, good brother?
All right, cool. I've got People's Instinctive Travels in the Path of Funk and Rhythm. One for All, as Ev said. Sex Packets.
Dope.
Mama Said Knock You Out. And To the East Blackwoods.
Okay. Favorite songs off of each one of those joints?
People's Instinctives, I got Footprints. One for All, I got Slow Down. Sex Packets, it's a battle royale, but I like Gutfest 89.
Okay.
Mama Said Knock You Out, I'm gonna say Around the Way Girl. And then To the East Blackwoods, Grand Verbalizer or either Day of Outrage.
Grand Verbalizer, what time is it?
Yeah.
Yo, here's the wild part. Thinking about that joint, it's funny because and this is a whole nother show too, because I'm thinking Grand Verbalizer is sampling the Average White Band, which was sampled by Eric B. Which was sampled by Eric B and Rakim from Microphone Fiend, which was sampled by And Too Short, and sampled by Special Ed for Think About It. And I don't remember anybody having a problem with that. You know what I mean? I don't remember anybody being like, yo, Special Ed, you bit Rakim, and Too Short, all those things. So when did that, when did that become an issue? When it was like, which is bugged, because I'm thinking about this, Kel. The next Gangstar album, Daily Operation, you got Take It Personal, where the second verse is directed at YZ. Over rap is an art, you can't own no loops. It's how you hook them up with the rhyme style troops, which I totally disagree with. Everybody watching, niggas always say that, but Guru said, I'm like, nigga, that nigga ain't the Jesus of hip hop. I don't give a fuck with Guru. He's the nigga being accused of biting. So of course, that nigga gonna say some slick shit. Like, that's like, a nigga who did the robbery trying to make up the law. Like, no, nigga, you robbed it. You can't come back and try to the law or whatever like that. But it's just funny because, again, like, it just popped like that. Like, damn, when did we start caring about people using the exact same samples? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a whole nother topic right there. Because now I'm thinking about that. That's some shit. Kel, why don't you give me your 5?
All right, my 5, similar to some of the other, with Vernon and what Eb said. One for All, America's Most Wanted. Business as Usual, Edutainment. And Mama Said Knock You Out.
All right, no doubt. Favorite joints off of those joints?
One for All, Step to the Rear.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
America's Most Wanted, Nigga Love to Hate. That's of course title tracks, of course. Business as Usual, Hardcore is on there with that's the first time I heard Redman. So and then Edutainment, You Must Learn. There's no man. Love's Gonna Get You. Mama Said Knock You Out. Eat 'Em Up L.
Okay.
Chill.
So for mine, I got Fear of a Black Planet, Public Enemy. America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube. Poor Righteous Teachers, Holy Intellect.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Love that first PRT album.
Yes, absolutely.
Mama Said, LL, Brand Noobs, One for All. Fear of a Black Planet, God. I know it's the single, and I almost never like ever saying the single, but I gotta go with Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The energy,
That's hard, man. It's hard.
the energy for that song is
What's wrong with that? My home is your home.
Yo, bro. Like when
NBA was using that.
Yo, bro, when people say things to me like, yo, such and such have a Shook Ones and this, I'm like, nigga, do they have a Welcome to the Terror Dome? Like, we talking about anthems. Y'all think, and Shook Ones was huge. I'm not shitting on Shook Ones. That shit was huge. But yo, Fight the Power? Like, PE got anthem. Like, you know what I mean? That Welcome to the Terror Dome, that yo, my God.
Man, just like, man, and how many quotables can you pull from Terror Dome, dog?
I got so much trouble on my mind.
I used it last week on Instagram, talking about mortgages. Refuse to lose.
Here's the ticket. Let the drum come on, bro. Like,
it's weak to seek and blame somebody else when you destroy yourself.
Bro, so many joints on there. America's Most Wanted, Once Upon a Time in the Projects, man. I and it's funny because anytime, like, whenever I go into a new hood or whatever, I'll always be like, yo, I don't slang, I write the dope rhymes. You know, the whole scene reminded me of good times because you walk into a new hood, niggas looking like, yo, who this nigga? Like, yo, dog, I'm only here for the kids, bro. I don't slang, I write the good rhymes, bro. Like, you ain't got to worry about me. I ain't trying to sell no crack on your block, bro. Like, we all good here. PRT, Holy Intellect, I got to go with Styles Drop, Lessons Taught. Now, if you haven't heard the album, here's the album right here. Because for a lot of people, this may make their slept on list. But dog, from Rock This Funky Joint to Shaquilla to Time to Say Peace, like, I love this album right here. So definitely Styles Drop, Lessons Taught. I love that joint. Mama Said Knock You Out, Cheesy Rap Blues. That right there to me was so crazy because I remember hearing Booming System. And even in 1990, I considered myself a hip-hop aficionado. I knew everything. So when Marley is scratching Cars Drive By with the Booming Systems, I'm racking my brain like, yo, what LL song is this? Like, I've never heard this LL song before. You know what I mean? Then you hear the album, you hear Cheesy Rap Blues, and he says Cars Ride By with the Booming System. My man said leave him alone. My man already dissed him, and it was like, oh shit! Like, it was that aha moment. I just love the whole concept of Cheesy Rap Blues. Like, yo, when you on, niggas love you. You know, when you fall off, niggas ain't even trying to fuck with you like that. In Brand Noobs, I probably got to go with Slow Down. It's so many joints on that. I mean, the One for All, the remix version with the video was crazy. Slow Down, Step to the Rear, Wake Up. Just, there's so many joints on there. But if I had to pick one, it's probably just like Slow Down because it's just like the way the beat was crazy. The whole, hey, baby, your hips is getting big. Like, just, again, so many quotables. DeMar came in there and killed it, and then Poop just, you know, takes it on home with, you know, Rock Me Tonight for old time's sake. Picture that. Like, it's just, Slow Down is just classic. I'm sorry. Let me see if we can get West Coast Vern back in here. Vern, you good?
Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you, brother.
Okay, cool. We're good. I lost my notes. Y'all still on the same question? But
hold on for 1 sec. Vern has something to say, and then we're going to come to you for your 5. What you got, Vern?
Two things, man. The way Poopa swung that third verse on Slow Down, I mean, his cadence was, oh, man, impeccable. But secondly, the reason why I love today's show topic is because it's two landmark periods of my life. I graduated high school June of 90, and I started college in 90. So it's so many memories tied to these albums and these songs, man. So I'm loving this show.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And please do, we'll talk about what 1990 meant to you all just as men growing up. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times, I don't know if you guys have heard Kendrick's new album, but he has this song called Savior, and I love how he starts off with like, yo, Kendrick made you think, but he is not your savior. J. Cole made you do this, he is not your savior. To just kind of understand why we love this culture so much, because music to me has always been like a photo album. You know what I mean? You hear a song, it takes you back to who you was dating, what grade you was in, what was going on. And so I really want to tap on like where some of these songs and some of these albums, where we were just as men growing up. Vern, what are your top 5 albums from 1990, good brother?
I had America's Most. Favorite song was the Nigga You Let Her Hate. I had Take a Look Around Master Race. I like the Brooklyn Battles. Brother Law, Living Like Hustlers.
Yeah.
The title track.
It's not what you know.
Rich. Listen, a lot of people don't understand that the whole G-Funk, Dr. Dre, that was them first. That was Cole 187, KMG, and I forgot the other guy's name.
Now Dre produced that album, correct?
They kind of produced it together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I had Brand New Beats. I mean, come on, man. Like over on our side, we was into like the little Eddie Bowers and the Cross Trainers around there. Polo shit too, but you know what I mean. So that Brand New Beat was that was one, and where's my other? I have one more. That's find my notes. I crashed out on you. Oh, Rampage, EPMD.
All right.
Yeah, Rampage.
Now tell me this, Vern, you're from LA. What did Cube's America's Most mean to y'all over there? Because I mean, like for people who may not know, we're painting a picture. Cube is in the NWA, probably the biggest rap group at that time was Straight Outta Compton. Incredible quotables. I mean, Cube damn near owned Straight Outta Compton. From beginning to end. He leaves the group. He goes to New York. Walk us through that just as a West Coast dude. How does it feel Cube is leaving NWA? Let's just start with that. Well, Cube leaving NWA. How did that make y'all feel?
Back then, it wasn't no internet, so it was just chatter. Like when you heard it, you heard about it until they said something to it. Said something to the extent like on K-Day, which was on like, if it was the East Coast Hot 97 at the time, like K-Day played all the rap shit all day, all night. That's all they did. And so you started hearing the rumblings, but we didn't get a lot of details. But growing up in the era we grew up, we was waiting and anticipating, and when we got it, and anybody that knew anything about hip hop at that time, you break open the credits, you start seeing the Bomb Squad, and you instant, like I used to read the shit before I pressed play.
But hold on, Vern. Before we even get to the album, you hear the chatter of Cube leaving NWA. What did you think? Did you think like Cube is over? It's almost like the EPMD breakup. Like I thought, Eric is gonna be good. I don't know about that.
We didn't know it was gonna be no diss or nothing, because like I said, we didn't really understand. We heard shit, but we weren't sophisticated. Like rap was still fairly new. So as far as contracts and people being jerked and all that shit, like nobody really knew the ins and outs, right? But it was like, what is he gonna do, right? Like everybody, like you said, at home, respectfully, it was always Cube and Ren, like just the
Cube and Ren,
like, but Cube kind of stood out a little more even at that time. But if you listen, they kind of neck and neck, right? But it was. I think that was the most anticipated album before Snoop, when Snoop did his shit, right? Because we was all waiting to see what Cube was on, and he delivered, And it was wild because I think he was the biggest rapper from America's Most. I think from 1990 to like 90, almost I guess into the Chronic, he had the shit on lock. Nobody was touching Ice Cube. Then he started doing the movies and shit, And, but it was very impactful. That's one of my top 5 albums of all time, not just in 1990. Although Death Certificate is better.
Okay, now tell me this: 187, Above the Law, that whole crew. Talk a little bit about them and why they're making your top 5.
Well, it was like, how it was almost like wrestling. Like you always had the big names, but then it was always this interest in other wrestlers. Like they wasn't as big. It was like they kind of interesting, right? And that was a brother-in-law. They shit seemed a little more, for me, like, it was a little more authentic. It was closer to what the street was than the other shit that was, going on at the time. And it was just interesting because you were seeing Easy kind of bounce back with another group. You know what I mean? And they were from Pomona, I believe. And that's like the outskirts of LA. And it was just a whole new thing. And like it was weird because Easy always had a knack for that. Like he was like Kid Frost was under Ruthless, the biggest Latino rapper at the time. So it was just like it was almost like I don't know if you used to be up on Saturday, like the first time you seen Demolition come out. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the first time I seen Demolition, I was like, yo, y'all biting the Road Warriors, fuck y'all. Like,
right.
Like, that's how I feel about Demolition.
Yeah, but it was sort of like that. It was just an interesting new thing.
Okay. All right, no doubt. Because again, I was late to the Above the Law party. Saw the names and everything like that, but it never really stuck with me. So definitely good looking for that. DJ Rec One, what's going on, good brother?
My bad, I was on mute. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you good, bro. You good, bro. Top 5 albums from 1990.
Top 5?
Top 5.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm going Special Ed, Legal. America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube. One for All, Brand Nubian. And I'm gonna go Step in the Arena, Gangstar.
All right. What are your favorite joints off those?
Oh man, off the Step in the Arena joint. Let's see. Just to get a rap.
That's my favorite Gangstar song ever, right there.
Joint.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's a joint on the beginning. And Premier just starts scratching. Oh man, I gotta look it up. But just to get a rap. Love Sick. That joint.
No. Just one song off each album. Just one
song off each album. Okay, so just to get a rap, off of the Special Ed joint, You Wish You Could. Man. Oh man.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
Let me look up the Cube joint because I was just banging that joint today. I want to say Niggas You Love to Hate. Is that on America's Most?
Yeah.
That's what I was banging. That's what I was banging today. Because I'm listening to it and I'm just like, how did they think this cat was not gonna have a dope album? And he wrote 90% of your shit.
Yeah.
But you know why, bro? You know why? Because you're leaving Dre. You know what I mean? Like that's the piece right there. I mean, look at it like this. Janet leaves Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, falls the fuck off. You know, A. Marie leaves Rich Harris, falls the fuck off. Like, that's the thing. Like, to me, Cube is really like Cube and Aaliyah. Those are the only two people off the top of my head who Aaliyah left, the boy who I don't mention, you know what I mean, and went to, nobody knew who Timbaland and Missy was at the time, you know what I mean, and actually got doper because it's like, yo, you leaving boy? Like, yo, dude is the biggest R&B singer and producer in the world. How you gonna leave him and go to some nobodies? And then the same thing with Q. It was like, yo, you leaving Dr. Dre? You know what I mean? And going to the Bomb Squad. Who was the Bomb Squad? But keep in mind, it was only for PE. We're not dealing with those days where it was like PE, Bomb was producing for all these other people. Right. So I think that's why people were kind of like, that's why I just got finished asking West Coast Vern, like, what was the feeling like? Because I remember feeling like, I don't know how this joint gonna be. Like, you know what I mean? I know lyrically he gonna come with it, but I don't know how production-wise. You know, how's the Bomb Squad sound that's tailored for Chuck D gonna fit a West Coast MC?
That makes sense. See, I was 12, so I wasn't knee deep into it like you were. You know what I'm saying? Right. You understood the intricacies of it. I just knew that Ice Cube wasn't fucking with them no more. That's all I could understand at 12. And it took me later on in life to have to go back, research, read, and be like, yo, cats threw him in the water. I'm like, thinking to myself, like, oh, this fucking O'Shea Jackson, like, what the fuck wrong with you?
And then two, the other flip is and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what time when a West Coast artist came to the East Coast to rock with producers.
Ice-T been over there. Ice-T been. Somehow Ice-T was always over there.
He was from Jersey.
He was from Jersey. You know what I mean?
Right. So he was always back and forth, but back to the magnitude of Cube, I wouldn't say. I seen it like that. You right, it was like a delicacy because P and them didn't really mess with nothing outside of what they was doing.
Right, so that's I know for me it was like, yo, I don't know. See, back in those days, and for folk watching, this is why it was so different. A producer only made music for that crew. So it's literally like you had suits being tailor-made for you. So it's like if I'm used to making tailor-made suits for Ev's physique, and then here come Rex, some 6'5" tall nigga. It's like, yo, I don't know. You used to rocking with these 5'8" niggas, killer. I don't know if you come be able to design something. Dog, I'm 6'5". I'm jumping out the gym over here. So that's kind of how it was. Like, how is the East Coast Public Enemy sound gonna fit this? Fuck the police, because we gotta realize Cube wasn't the intelligent type hoodlum necessarily coming out of straight out of Compton that he morphed into with America's Most in-depth certificate. So that's why I love doing these shows, because it's not just as simple as you just jump from producer to producer. That's what we do nowadays. Back then we didn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like Kid and Play left Herbie Lovebug. We ain't never heard a good Kid and Play song again. You know what I mean? Like dead ass. Like you leave your producer. When everybody from the Juice Crew left Marley, everybody was like, I don't know what the next album gonna sound like because you leaving Marley fucking Marl. Like, you know what I mean? Type thing. So, but I'm sorry, Ray, keep going with your list.
Nah, you good. So for the Brand Nubian joint, to the right, the way that shit opens up. Man, my aunt at the time used to bang that out heavy. That's how I learned about the Guys and Earths, to be honest with you, by her just banging this album and like deciphering and breaking it down for me. Even though I was a kid from Queens, like I didn't see the Guys and the Earths on the corners like that. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of sheltered when it came to that. So I gotta say to the right. And then what was the other one I had? What did I say? I think that was it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Did I miss one?
No, I think you got him. Any R&B joints? Anybody got any R&B albums? Vern, all right, what you got?
Well, of course. All right, so I mean, how can I be on this show and not mention Layla Hathaway's debut album?
Classic.
Boy, what? Come on, man.
Bro, I'm gonna talk on that. I'm gonna talk on that when it's my time.
I'm gonna put these R&B joints you give Vern. I'm gonna have to put them in the playlist because I'm not gonna front. I was 12, dog.
It's all good. I'm gonna speak on that later, Vern. Later on, man. I'll speak on that.
I gotta go Poison. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's different.
So many memories tied to that album. Born to Sing, In Vogue. Yeah. The Future Guy. That is Teddy Riley's best produced album. The sonics on that album are incredible. And then I'm gonna leave it with the revival, Tony.
Yeah, no doubt. I got BBD's Poison as the dopest album of the year. Again, this was, I don't know another time in history when them other niggas in the group, because that's what they was. Like, we just keeping it a buck. They was them other niggas in the group. Like, you had Ralph, you had Bobby, and then you had them other niggas in the group. Like, that's what they was. I don't know another time when them other niggas in the group actually had the best solo album. You know what I mean? Because Ralph's Sensitivity album, that's a good album. It wasn't that. Don't Be Cruel is the shit. So if anybody wants to say Don't Be Cruel is better than Poison, I'm not mad at you. I prefer Poison over that. Very close. But nobody expected them dudes to do anything. To me, that was the core mixture of hip hop mixing with R&B from everything that's on this joint. From the first time I heard Poison, I'm like, yo, this is an R&B song and they sampling Cool G raps. Voice saying Poison. I mean, BBD, I thought it was me. Yo, Ron, what's up with that fly girl you left the spot with? She was saying close to you than the bread on the meat of my sin. Yo, bro, come on, like,
that's That's the song.
Do me, baby. Yo, stop what you're doing. Like Pumpy said, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. Do me, baby. Yo, come on, yo, stop playing me on Do Me, Baby.
She's dope.
Oh my God, she's dope. And I'm talking about the E-Pod remix. The E-Pod
yes.
Of course, it's dope spelled backwards. So it was the E-Pod remix. It was the video version of She's Dope. JR's coming right in on the R&B side.
Right in the R&B time.
I already said all your albums. I said all your albums, JR.
And then we can't even start. We can't even go with, because here's the thing. Okay, these R&B niggas, them other niggas doing this hip hop shit. When will I see your smile again? The video version. When Mike is sick. Yo, that may be one of the dopest slow jams ever. Okay?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then the other slow jam, I Do Need You. Like this right here, 5 Mic album, changed the game on so many levels. Again, the momentous thing about this album is, again, JR was saying, I don't know any other time when them other niggas, that's what I'm calling them, them other niggas in the group, actually came out and did something great. You know what I mean? Like Temptation, you saw them like. No. Let's keep it a buck. No, y'all know if there's one thing I do, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yeah. Nobody expected these 3 niggas to do this shit.
We didn't.
No. Nobody did. They didn't even expect to do shit. Okay, like, so just the fact that this is that right there. Second one, Born to Sing, In Vogue. Oh my God, like Waiting on You. That was only on the CD. That wasn't on the tape. Waiting on You was one of my favorite slow jams. Don't Go. That was crazy. I'm with Vern with The Future. That Guy album, Let's Chill. The remix, the video version. We keep saying the video versions because in the 90s, you would have the album version, and before you even got the remix, you saw the video version of it first. So the Let's Chill album version is cool, but the video version was just crazy. I got Revival, Tony. I mean, Whatever You Want. It Never Rains in Southern California. Like these songs to this day, that was 1990, and these songs to this day still bang. That's just crazy. And I'm gonna end it with I'm Your Baby Tonight, Whitney Houston, the first Whitney Houston album that I was really, really a fan of. Like prior to that, you know, my pops would play the music and it was background music, but I'm Your Baby Tonight. JR, what's the name of the song? All the Man That I Need. All the Man That I Need.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Whitney songs ever. So yeah, those are my top 5 R&B albums for that year. Yes, sir.
I didn't get to list my songs, so.
Oh, okay, I apologize.
All good. Baby Don't Cry off of Layla. Man, Angela Winbush.
Damn!
I already told you.
This what happens when you come late, nigga. This what happens when you come late. You come late, you get the end. You came Thanksgiving dinner 4 hours late talking about ain't no more mac and cheese.
Right.
You know you gotta be here on time, Grandma.
Hey, but the slept on song on that album where Layla is just styling on them is Stay Home Tonight.
Yeah.
Bro, her jazz stylings on that is incredible. Off of Poison, I'm gonna say Thought It Was Me. Born to Sing. So I was messing with somebody and she took us over her homegirl's house. And we already knew about Hold On, but she was like, yo, you gotta listen to Don't Go. I'm like, whoa. That knock on that mug, man. And then The Future, the dopest short little snippet, Where Did Our Love Go? Aaron was styling on that. And then on the Revival, for some reason, this, of course, It Never Rains is my favorite, but All My Love, nobody talks about it, but I really like that song off of that album. So those are mine.
All right, no doubt. Calv, I'm gonna get to you. Let me let JR get some macaroni and cheese, just because this is his lane right here. So this is his lane. So let him get the last little piece of Grandma's mac and cheese before we got to go. You know how you gotta go through Grandma's, then you get the Auntie Bird's mac and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
You ain't lying, though. You're not lying.
Yeah, and I'm not lying. Anybody black understands. You gotta go through. You got your second. Now you got your second string coming up, which ain't as good as the first string, which is why you on time for Thanksgiving dinner. JR, what are your top 5? If you have hip hop and R&B, or if you just got R&B, what do you have for your top 5 albums?
I got both, but where did y'all start with? You want me to go?
We start with hip hop. You can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Black Magic. with salt and
Okay.
pepper.
Okay.
Say Mama Say Knock You Out. Did I have anything? I only had 2 hip hop. That's it. Everything else is R&B for me because 1990 is when R&B was killing, and New Jack really was at like everybody was winning. I love this. 1990 has to be one of my favorite years of R&B anyway. Y'all name I'm Your Baby Tonight. Y'all name Guy, Johnny. I know Kill don't name him, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Ralph.
Why you? I just said earlier, Ralph Sensitivity album is dope. I love that album.
Oh, now you love it.
I've always loved it
because you full of it. Because we had an episode. People go back and watch this episode. Me and Kill argued about this, and he clowned Ralph and said Ralph had the weakest and horrible album.
There's a difference. I said he had
weak and horrible. You said weak.
Well, here's the thing that you just said right there. I said weak. No. You said I said weak. I agree with. Listen, there's a difference. I said he had the weakest album out of all the solo albums. So if you're talking about Poison, if you're here talking about Don't Be Cruel, and you're talking about Johnny's solo album, he's gonna come in 4th place.
You said weak and horrible because I wouldn't have never bothered you if you said weak.
I promise you I did not say horrible because I'm looking it up right here. I got it in my phone.
Horrible. I didn't argue for you because you was like, oh, you his manager now. Like,
you are his manager. When you like somebody, nigga, you his manager. You are Maya's manager. If anybody's looking to book Maya, my love is like, whoa, contact JR. You are Maya's manager. Because we was arguing about Maya before, and you was the
because when it come to R&B Kill, you be acting like you know. And when he said, I didn't know Maya had a new joint, he tried to clown her. So I was like, Maya had a new joint. He was like, oh, you're her manager. No, she got a new joint. So I'm her manager because you don't know, and I do.
Bro, it's 2021. My life is like, whoa, it's like 2001, man.
Anyway. So
see, this is exactly what happens when your drunk uncle come late. He want to argue with everybody. Everybody out in here reminiscing. You come in here with your red cup, now cursing me out. And I ain't even do nothing, man.
It's the truth. He said up here was like, "Oh, Ralph's album is dope," but we like 2 years ago we had a big argument about this, and he said it was weak and bad.
I'm looking up Ralph's album right now because I rock with this album.
Now, if you loved it, now you don't know what the songs is.
Because, bro, I'm 48, bro. I don't remember having nothing no more, man.
You said it was bad then.
Bro, I don't remember. I had to pull out PRT to remember the songs, and I love this album.
I don't care about that. We're talking about Ralph. We're not talking about that.
See, this is what happens with the generation gap right here. JR like 33. I'm 48. You can still remember shit. I can't, nigga. This is now the senior citizen shit right here.
I'm tired.
This is the citizen right now. That's what's going on. Last night,
Big Bro already picked Layla, right? So I'm gonna go with Keith Sweat. Giving all my love to you.
Oh, very dope album.
Yes. I'm mad that they don't have the what is it? For Your Love, the joint with him and LL that Marley Marl did, part 2, which I like better than part 1.
I don't remember that joint. I just remember the Why Me Baby with LL and
that's it, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, Why Me? Yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna say because y'all said all the other Always by Pebbles.
Very dope. Very dope.
Yeah.
Now look, they are just for shits and giggles. I like Sensitivity to an extent. I like it later on in life. Why? Because at 1990, I was in the streets. I don't want to hear about no Sensitivity. So I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I wasn't mature enough to understand.
We're not gonna have this argument because I told you I'd fight somebody over some disrespect. So I'm not gonna.
I know I'm not disrespecting. I just said it was me.
You are.
No, JR. What he's saying is,
I'm saying I wasn't ready.
His frontal lobe wasn't fully
right.
formed.
It wasn't formed for me to understand how a nigga could be sensitive. Nigga, I'm growing up in the hood, and this nigga talking about sensitivity. I didn't understand that. But do what I gotta do.
Sensitive and New Edition. Are you serious?
What happened?
He was sensitive and knew addiction.
No, but he's wearing that shit on his chest. That nigga says I'm sensitive. Like that nigga came out with a polo shirt that says sensitivity on it. That's different than being sensitive. But to do what I gotta do, the remix one with the Barry White in it, that's crazy. Love takes time. Yo, Love Hurts and Last Night.
Bro,
Love Hurts,
man. Ralph was in some pain.
Bro,
he was in some pain, dog.
Right. So I'm letting you know I messed with that album. I apologize.
Too.
Yeah, I apologize, but Love Hurts and Last Night are both crazy albums. Vern, why don't you start off with 3 slept-on albums from 1990 that people don't talk about, but somebody, if they're trying to do the research, these are 3 good albums to get started with.
Which Vern?
I apologize, Atlanta Vern.
All right. Well, a couple of them were said. But I'm gonna go back to the first one, Living Like Hustlers, because most people don't talk about that album, man. Above the Law. And then I'm gonna go, up the coast a little bit to the Bay Area. Short Dogs in the House. Love that mug, man. And then JR named it, so I'm gonna go to Black Magic with Salt and Pepper. And I might get
Black Magic is Express Yourself.
Yes.
Express Yourself. Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah, and I might get kicked off the show for this one, but I just gotta. Okay, Kill. This no. This is me.
He said I ain't going that level. I ain't gonna go that level. I'm gonna go left, but nigga, we ain't gonna just pull off the instinct right now.
Yeah. At the time, I was strictly hip hop, keeping it real. But the older I get, I understand the importance of Please Don't Hurt 'Em Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, cause he did everything they called him a sellout for. That's all rappers.
Everybody's doing it now, right?
They were doing it like '94. Everybody went glam and money making, so he was doing it then. So I got to give Hammer his props later on. So yeah,
and like I ain't had no parachute pants and some tiny ass shoes.
But see, Rick, you could get away with it because you were younger. I'm 18, 19. You weren't.
Listen, the cats in my high school, they was rocking like that.
Yeah.
I feel you though. They was rocking like that.
All right, Hammer don't hurt him. Ev, 3 slept-on albums from '90 that people don't talk about, but you think somebody younger should definitely tap into.
I would say, one of them was on my list, but I would say the King T joint. I would. This is a little bit of this may not be true for this panel, but for most people I talk to, People's Instinctive. A lot of people slept on that topic.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people slept on the first joint. So
my mom don't like this.
First album ever bought.
And for me personally, it probably might have been Mama Said. Because I wasn't rocking LL crazy like that, though. But one of my favorite cuts on the EPMD album, which was my favorite album of that year, was Rampage. With L had the best verse on that shit. So I just never. I got hit to his album a little later because I was just in a whole different world. So 1990, I was a freshman in high school, so I'm just just getting my feels for everything. So yeah.
Right. No doubt. Rep, what you got? 3 albums, somebody that people usually don't talk about, but will be very dope for somebody to check out.
You ready?
Yeah. You smiling, nigga. What you about to say?
To the East, Blackwards,
Yeah.
It's almost like people have erased them out of history.
I had it in my top 5. I had it in my top 5, Rick. So no, we ain't gonna let them erase it.
So that's one. Another one. I might get kicked off with you, Vern.
Nigga, if you say Young MC,
I was gonna say that too.
I'm like, because he said Hammer. The only person next to say to get kicked off is either Young MC or Tone Loc. So which one you going with?
Vanilla Ice.
Or Vanilla Ice.
Nah. I'm going Boogie Down, Edutainment.
Oh no, that was mentioned already too.
Yeah, I mentioned that's in my top 5, right?
Hey, JR.
Now, when you said that, I'm like, oh, this nigga going Tone Loc on a nigga right now. Think about the Tone Loc.
I ain't gonna Tone Loc. and then I gotta go home. Sons of the Father, YZ.
Oh yeah,
I gotta go home.
Good.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's a good one.
when we saw him doing that out in Asbury Park with my man in the Skippies, we was clowning cousin the Skippies, but we knew what it was because that's the home team right there.
Mhm.
So
Anthony Hill.
that was big.
Yeah.
That was big for us, man, because we wasn't getting too much shine out outside of Latifah like that, and Lakim Shabazz and them. So that was big for us.
No doubt. West Coast Vern, 3 slept on bangers.
I feel like K Solo told the world my name was kind of slept on. I liked it a little, not too much. Compton Most Wanted is a Compton thing.
Yeah.
I put MC8 up there as one of the best storytellers in hip hop, and niggas don't even look at him for that. But when you go back after this, you can see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I like They Call Me D Nice.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool little. It was a cool little rotation of tape to throw in the Walkman sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this, bro. I'm glad you're on the show as a West Coast representative. Compton's Most Wanted. How did that make you guys feel? Because when NWA came out with Straight Outta Compton, I remember being in Philly like, I don't even know what Compton is. Like, I had never even heard of Compton before. But Straight Outta Compton blew up, and I swear I'd come home from school every day in Rap City. It would, every fucking week there was a new group out from Compton. Like, literally. It was like, I forgot, it was a big fat nigga who was from Compton, then you had Compton. Yeah. Like everybody was just coming out from Compton. Yeah. Compton's Most Wanted. One, as a West Coast person. Now you're from what part of LA?
I'm from South Central LA.
You're from South Central.
South Central LA. Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Did LA love that? Was it like with South Central like fuck Compton, or was it like it's all love?
Nah. I was always. I mean, Compton is is the whole, and Compton is a suburb, right? I mean, I always looked at it like it's like our Queens or our Bronx. Like, that's just where it happened first for the most part. You know what I mean? But it started trickling down. But there was a lot of stuff that didn't make it out of there too, because it was that high stakes. If you really pay attention, most of the shit that came out of there that made it was pretty dope. Gang, Kendrick, DJ Quick, Compton Most Wanted, NWA. Like it's a top tier launching point for West Coast rappers for sure. I'm pretty sure it's the most centralized most of the talent from the West Coast came from Compton. I wouldn't deny it at all. It's not even close. They're like the Lakers and the shit. And
wow.
You know, the rest
That's
of us.
crazy. I never looked at it like that, because we've done the show with New York, like which borough has the dopest MCs, but maybe we need to do that West Coast show, like, you know.
That'd be a short show. That'd be a very short show.
We just call it the Compton show. It's called the Compton show. Like, there you go. Grand opening, grand closing. Like, it ain't even close.
Put it like this. Think about the biggest rapper that, in your own opinion, that come out the Bay Area. For every one of them, it's like 3 from Compton. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just lopsided like that.
Hey, Vern, let me ask you a question. I'm curious. What do you think? Is there anything about, because I've lived in LA, I worked in South Central, I've been to Compton. Is there anything specific about Compton that just breeds that kind of like creativity?
It's something about the east side of that 110 freeway, man. It's just, I let them watch for a while too. It's just a different vibe, and it's hard to explain, but because it's all fucking ghetto, right? But it's just, there's different rules and different little parts, and people grow up differently, different slang. It's just like anywhere else. But that is something in the water over there. I couldn't explain it.
I feel that.
I couldn't explain it.
I feel that.
That's a good way of
And it's so weird because it's so wild over there, you wouldn't even think they had time to hone their craft like that. That's the craziest shit to me. That's always been the mystery to me. Like, where y'all have time to rap?
Y'all niggas kill each other 24/7 and still find time to fucking write rhymes. Right. Yeah. Not just write rhymes, but write like good rhymes. Like, nigga, how? Like, that's crazy too.
Excellent.
What are your top 3 slept on albums that you think people need to know about?
So I'm gonna go to my hometown too. Cool G Rap, Wanted Dead or Alive.
I would love to say nobody mentioned that album. This whole show, I was surprised. I thought we'd hear about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't talk about it. People talk about that, of course. but One Is Dead Alive, I think is definitely a banger. Tragedy, Intelligent Hoodlum.
Yeah, true.
I think a lot of people obviously get locked up, so he's on Marley's In Control, so people forget about him. And then I got Special Ed as well, Legal.
All right, no doubt. I'm gonna use. Well, JR, you have any slept on R&B or hip hop albums for that year? What you got?
I got Soul to Soul, A New Decade. I got High Fives debut. I got the Brand New Heavies.
Yeah. Oh man, how forget that?
Which album was that?
That was the one with
Take a Ride in the Sky, Never Stop.
Yes.
A Dream Come True.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Tracy Spencer's Make a Difference because that got sent to and his house on it. I actually, to be honest, I know people don't like to go to it a lot, but I do. I'll be sure it's the Private Times.
True. A couple things on that.
It got some heat on there.
It's up and down.
Listen to it again.
It's up and down on the album.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that's a misunderstanding, though, right? That's the.
Yeah.
And then you already threw the Layla out there. I should have knew Vern was gonna do that.
You should have known that was.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's a big joker. You can't have no damn.
I think
Hathaway with this nigga. That nigga, we could be talking about dopest hip hop albums. He'd be like, Layla Hathaway. Who is Layla Hathaway?
I mean, she is all over To Pimp a Butterfly. So hey, I wouldn't be wrong.
She is.
He would be like, I'll take who is Layla Hathaway for 200 Alex. So,
and I guess the last one, I throw out Mariah because I like Love Takes Time on that one. So that's
right.
it.
Yeah.
Can I throw a question in there? What about I didn't hear anybody mention Anita.
Compositions. What the fuck?
Ain't nobody mentioned it, so I just figured
look at that. Ab just made you renege, nigga. Talking about you ain't got no hearts. Talking about you ain't got no God. This nigga cutting hearts. I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, she did. Oh God, I just posted that last night, and I was, oh damn it. Yeah, that's my shit.
You know the thing about music though, for real, is because like a single might come out in 88 or 89. And then the album don't drop to 90 or 91, so it's you. Because I almost forgot about Layla Hathaway, that album, because the way stuff was dropped.
I didn't know that was 90. You just said that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then to think about it, because Bobby was still rocking in 90 with Don't Be Cruel.
There you go.
And it was still rocking in 90 with Rhythm Nation. These albums came out in like 88, 89, and they were still killing in 90. So it's like.
But you know what? That right there is a good testament to how the game has changed. That you can drop an album a year ago, 2 years ago, and your album is still having legs to stand on 2 years later. Like you damn near be blessed to have your album still rocking 4 months after it came out nowadays. You know what I mean? For the fact that you can say, the single dropped in 88, but the album ain't dropped till 90, and this was still jump. You know what I mean? Like, it just showed you like the continuation of how long an album truthfully was supposed to last you. You know what I mean? It's almost like, I always tell people, I would go to Brooklyn every summer for the entire summer every year. My mom's would be like, here's $500. Nigga, this shit's supposed to last you the whole fucking summer. The first day there, I'm at Beach Street Records and I'm broke. Like, literally. Like, and the rest of the summer, my aunt is like, nigga, why we going to the movies? I'm going to just chill today. I'm just going to fuck it. You know what I mean? Because I spent all my money and it was supposed to last you the stretch of it. But, music right now doesn't do that anymore. And it's kind of like it drops. And then next thing you know, it's already gone or whatever like that. On my ends, I'm gonna pull a Vern and Porsche. I can't do 3 because I feel like there's too much good music this year. Number 1, I'm gonna go out of Philly, 3 Times Dope, live from Mac Nicholas Land. You got We Get the Knees, which I know wasn't the greatest single in the world, but you got the Mr. Sandman, which was crazy, Mellow But Smooth, what was crazy, No Words, especially the No Words remix. If you never heard the No Words remix, YouTube that joint. It was incredible. Kel brought it up. Cool G Rap's second album, Wanted Dead or Alive. I talk about this in hip hop when I talk about pre-Straight Outta Compton, post-Straight Outta Compton. Pre-Straight Outta Compton, niggas did not curse. You would be lucky if you would hear Rakim say, "I'ma tear shit up." You'd be lucky if you heard Big Daddy Kane say, "Oh shit." You know, G-Rap's first debut album, not one curse word. This parental advisory sticker was not on your album. Prior to 1990, that sticker right there would ruin your whole career because it was like, now people aren't going to be able to buy my album. So it's very incredible to me that you went from this man not cursing one time on a 5 mic classic to curse, talk like sex. Talk like sex was my sex ed class. This was how I learned about sex. Let me explain to people. Don't ever let Cool G Rap teach your children about sex, okay? I was doing some of the most ignorant shit that I don't know how anybody let me get away with. This nigga was saying shit like, "Oh yeah, bust a nut, then wipe my dick on your curtain." Like, it was like, and I literally was trying to do everything that Cool G Rap said to do, because it was like, this was the GPS system. It's like, nigga, this is how you have sex out here in these streets. So, very dope album. Again, Rack brought this up. YZ, Sons of Man. First of all, let me explain to y'all how rare this is to get this on CD. This is a flex. One thing I will flex with is sneakers and records and music. This is a flex to get this on CD. Very dope album. Very stuff on the album too. Kwame's second album, A Day in the Life.
Dope album.
Oh my God. What's wrong with me, man?
5 mic album to me right here. It's basically like a day in his life. Loved it. Follow up. I think Rec mentioned this, or Vern, West Coast Vern, Master Aces. Take a look around. This album started off with Me and the Biz. This is a highly slept on. I know a lot of people who have never heard this album. This is a 1990 album produced by Marley Marl.
And it's
a very, very dope album. The last one I have is K Solos. Tell the World My Name. Like West Coast Vern said, I loved it. Spellbound. That was the first single, right? Spellbound?
Yeah.
The thing that I also loved about, to talk about 90 for a second, the thing that I loved about 90, hip hop was still a place of innocence where you could have a song that was spelling. This nigga was
right.
That's it.
Very W-E-L-L.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like think about that. You have Cool G Rap saying "talk like sex" and all of this crazy shit, and now you got some boy just spelling. Like, this nigga literally just, like, you just came to the studio like, "Yo, EMP, yo, what you want to rhyme about today?" "Yo, nigga, I just want to spell." Like, yo, like, and Spellbound was the shit. But there's a level of innocence with that. Could you imagine somebody coming to your studio now like, "Yo, we're gonna rap about, yo, Vern, West Coast Vern, what's our new album gonna be about?" Nigga, just spell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like phonics. We gonna do phonics today. Like,
I couldn't do it.
Right. And I want to actually say he spelled some shit wrong. Was it the B-I-R-D and the S-K? He spelled something wrong. I know that. And there was this, so, but I mean, Rockin' from My Hometown, C.I., The Fugitive, Your Mom's in My Business.
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah.
That just, very, very dope. Rel's in the building. What's going on, Rel?
You, what's good?
What's good? Yo, tell me something, man. What's your top 5 albums from 90, man?
Oh shit, all right.
I ain't just sitting out. You come in.
Hey, man.
You know what it is?
Y'all had heart to Philly, man. He just punked out on you.
Yo, you know what it is? Niggas mad because the mac and cheese ain't here no more. Grandma's mac and cheese, now niggas don't want to eat now.
Am I back? Am I here?
You back?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, my bad. America's Most Wanted.
All right.
Cube. Hold on. Oh, Mama Said Knock You Out. Of course. Shout out to my man, I Am God. One for All, Business as Usual, and Kill at Will was my top 5.
Okay, you got 2 Cube joints in there.
I had 2 Cube joints on there, man.
Okay.
This is when I was in my prime, them prime years of being an Ice Cube fan. So I was, already from America's Most, and then Killer Will had Dead Homies and all that on there. So I went with those 5 right there. And
Jackin' for Beats was crazy, man.
Jackin' for Beats,
crazy.
All right.
The EPMD album was part of their run that I don't even know too many people had that type of run of straight albums that's fire. So I had to put that on there. Yeah,
EPMD got a straight five album run of just 5 mic, back to back joints. That was crazy. What are some slept on albums you got? Okay, you dipped again. It's okay. This is what happens when niggas with the mac and cheese. Because seriously,
my bad. I'm driving home from work, man. My bad.
No, it's all good. No, but seriously, if you go to Thanksgiving dinner, mac and cheese is usually top 3 things people want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like potato salad, but I've seen black barbecues get very deep about who made the potato salad. So it's who made the potato salad, who made the mac and cheese, and sometimes, depending on your house, it could be the sweet potatoes or the candy yams. Like, those are things, like most other people, I know niggas who don't even give a fuck who made the turkey. Like, I don't even think that's a fight at all. But the mac and cheese and potato salad with black folk, those are 2 things that have to be very specified on who made them. Well, 3 slept on albums from that year.
Digital Underground album, I think, was slept on. I had I had Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, I think, was slept on based on the fact that he following up, you know what I'm saying, you following up classic, and it's hard like to match that when your next album come out, they kind of compare you to that, you know what I'm saying, and the album don't get the love that it probably should get. And I had Cool G Rap John.
Right.
Again, he got classics. I don't think this one gets looked at as a high as regard as the other ones, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean it ain't dope, you know what I mean? So that's why I picked those 3.
All right, no doubt. And the 3 slept on for R&B, I had Layla's joint. The Baby Don't Cry videos would sold me on that because the dances in there. That's when 90 niggas was still dancing. You know what I mean? So they got me on that. Volume 2, the Soul to Soul joint that JR mentioned. I love that joint. God, what is the name? There's a song on there that's just crazy to me.
Elevate your mind.
Love Come Through. Second joint on it. Love Come Through. I love that song. Can listen to it on Infinity.
Love Come Through.
Yeah, Love Come Through. The second joint. I love that song. Make the Difference. Tracy Spencer and Mariah Carey's debut album. I love that album, Mariah Carey's joint, but I don't think it gets a lot of love, especially at that time. Okay, Ev, I love it because I've got 3 MCs on here. Vern, you're a retired MC. I don't know if you're coming out of retirement. Rel just came out. Maybe we can get Vern out to a retirement. MCs, 1990. Who is the dopest MC for 1990? Ev. Who is your dopest MC of 1990?
I hate these questions. I'm gonna start with I hate these damn questions. It's like your mom say, "Yo, you got 3 siblings and you gotta put one across the
I can tell you, fuck. Ooh, nah, not fuck nobody. I love everybody in my family. I love everybody.
You got a list already. Like what? All right, made a list.
You asked me my favorite cousins. I could name them niggas in the list. No fucking easily.
I'm gonna say this person because
maybe I got a dysfunctional family because I'm sitting here like this is easy for me. No top 10 cousins? No, none at all. Like maybe it's just my family, but it's not hard questions at all.
It's not.
This is a really a tough one because it's really between 2 people, but the person I'm gonna give it to is it feels like an upset, but it's just the truth. For 1990, Pooh Bah.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
The other person I had was Rakim because I feel like Rakim just etched in a certain kind of definition on that Let the Rhythm Hit Him album, but I got to give it to Puba.
Yeah.
The thing again, and I say this over and over again for so many people, Puba was one of the dopest MCs walking the planet.
Come on, man.
And it could have been for a year, like I told JR earlier, with his fucking senior citizen shaming. Like, my brain isn't what it used to be, so I don't remember everything, so I can't tell you the year. For a good year and a half to 2 year stretch, Puba was the dopest MC walking the planet Earth.
Cameos, everything he touched.
Puba, that's all I needed to see. It could have been produced. It could have been a fucking Tone Loc track. If it said featuring Grand Puba, I'm gonna listen to that because that's how nasty Puba was. There was no father to his style. Nobody was rhyming. When I first saw Wake Up, it was like, yo, what the hell is this? The fashion icon, the Low. I mean, Puba dropped in 1990, it's 2022. Low time. Like, literally, like, Puba was the dude, like, I wanted to see more what he was wearing. And this is a testament to how dope Puba was. I would want to see what he was wearing even before what he was spitting. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you want to see a Puba show, but if you hear Puba's on like Yo MTV Raps, like, yo, what is he? To this day, I'm still looking for that Alpine shirt he had on when he was doing What's the 411 with Mary on Yo MTV Raps. I found the shirt. It's going for $1,800. I can't pay $1,800 for a shirt, but you know, one day I'm gonna find that on. You know what I mean? But just a testament to how incredible Puba was. You know what I mean?
Actually, also was one of the reason why I looked for that Brand New Heavies remix album.
The heavy, you talk about the heavy rhyme joint.
I mean, the heavy rhyme joint. Yeah,
the heavy rhyme joint. One of my favorite quotes from that is, "If the dough ain't for show, then you won't see the bro. The grand man just as usual. So let me slow down because I know I'm confusing y'all. Like everything about Pooh, the jabos, the backpack, everything about dude.
The way he rode, his choice, his wordplay, his vocabulary, like it's the stuff that it's stuff that I just missed in today's world. But Puba just had a certain kind of thing that just fit, and it worked so well for that time.
I didn't know who Tommy Hilfiger was before Pooh came out. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
So now for people, because one of my young boys on the timeline always says me talk about Pooh, and it was like, yo, so what happened to the boy? For me, Pooh's style got played out because Pooh did a lot of that sing-song stuff.
Yep.
You know, so by the time 2000 came out, it was like, you know, Pooh is everything and everything you do. And it was like, okay, bro, like, bro, that was cool in 1990, but nigga, now he got Nas and Old Dirty Bastard and like that singing. Like, if you listen to 2000, there's so much singing on that album that is just like. Yep. You know, I mean, one joint, he literally starts off with the Pooh, what was it, like, la, 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 it's Grand Pooh. Like, he literally, like, sung the whole dramatic song in the beginning. It was like, bro, like, nah, like, you can't do that no more, man. Like, so I think, like, Pooh is like that basketball player he's a Russell Westbrook who depended on his speed, and when the speed slowed down, you weren't able to do what you were able to do so effortlessly before. So it was like Pooh seemed like one of them Iverson type boys. Like, he just come to the studio late, write something crazy, and it'd be done. But when the game kind of caught up to him, he never really like stepped his game up. Like, okay, I'm not as fast anymore, so let me get my post-up game, or let me get this right. So to me, he's kind of like the Russell Westbrook. Like, you figure what, 2-3 years ago, this dude was the MVP. Now 3 years later, this nigga been on like 4 teams in 4 years. Like, so I think that's why Pooh it didn't catch. But in 1990, Pooh was that guy. Vern, who do you have? Atlanta Vern, who do you know? You know what? Let me go to my MCs first. West Coast Vern. Who was your MC of 1990? Dopest MC.
Ice Cube, my landslide. Yeah. Ice Cube, when he had the crown in 90, and my honorable mention is Perry Smith. I thought Perry Smith carried the EPMD, and then when they broke up, that shit went somewhere else. I don't even know what the fuck happened.
I don't know what happened either, man. I have no idea.
I don't know what the fuck happened, man. That shit is one of them. To this day, I can't figure out what happened.
You know what I think a huge piece that happened, which I don't understand, and this is the whole EPMD split doesn't make sense to me because everybody's saying, like Scratch has said, that PMD did all the beats for those EPMD albums and that Eric really didn't start producing till afterwards. The thing is that the reason I can't believe that, because if you made all those beats for those 5 albums that we just got finished saying all 5 of these albums were classics, how do you walk away from that and drop this PMD Shady Business album and it was like trash? Like, but then Eric shit, and Eric turns into one of the greatest hip hop producers ever. Like, it doesn't add up. So people like, one of my people's on the timeline, he always sending me interviews like, see, Scratch is saying Paris did it. And I'm like, bro, again, like basketball, I'm no analytic dude. I'm just an eye dude. Like, can you hoop? Yes or no? Like, I don't do anything else. It's the air test. Like, you can't say you produced the whole 5 EPMD albums, then it's time to produce your own album, and it's trash. Like, that just doesn't add up to me. That's it. So I don't care who says what. To me, at the end of the day, Eric did all them beats because it doesn't. You can't tell me I made all these Thanksgiving dinners and now all of a sudden now it's at my house and the shit just sucked. I mean, I guess we could blame the stove. I guess we could blame me and Ev always talk about having your studio, and I'm always nervous moving into a new house or a new space with my studio. But at the end of the day, if you got dope beats, you got dope beats. So I'm with you, Vern. I have no idea.
Well, I will say this. I don't feel like that PMD album. I mean, he had a couple joints on there. I don't feel like it was completely trash, but it wasn't up to par of what EPMD was putting out, without question. No.
It wasn't what E-Double was putting out.
Right, but see, and that's the difference. Right. That's the piece right there. Like, definitely a couple of joints, but we just got finished saying EPMD may have the best 5 album run in hip hop. I'm not mad at anyone saying the first 5 EPMD albums were all 5 mic classics. You can't produce 5 mic classics, now be on your own and have a couple.
Now get one.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't even. I mean, when I heard Hitting Switches, I was like, "Oh yeah, eat back." This shit hard. Like, it wasn't even no question. Like, yeah, okay. So again, Eric could come on here and say, "Nah, nigga, PMD did all the beats." I'd be like, "Nigga, I don't believe you." Like, whatever. Like, because I would still need PMD to be like, "Yo, this is what happened." Maybe he blew an eardrum, or maybe something went. Yo, some shit could have happened. But you got to explain to me why
eardrum.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't cook up all this good crack, and now I'm giving me some shit and I can't get high no more. Like,
now you're cracking skins.
I don't believe you, nigga. You did not cook this crack. Like, this crack is stepped on like 5 times. You can't say it. So,
sir. Want my money back, sir. This crack is singed.
Right, exactly. So, and then even the DOS albums, like after that, like there was just no bounce back for PMD. Like once EPMD broke up, everybody forgot about PMD. You know what I mean? And again, I do understand Eric was more of the polarizing one. He had the lisp. Maybe it was the Green Eye Bandit. I don't know what it was, but again, if Eric just started producing his solo album, going into Redman's what album, then I need to put him up there with Havoc, where you're going from you're just learning how to produce to you make what that album, nigga. Like, so
Eric was the personality, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and maybe that was the balance. Maybe that was the balance. But again, then the beat should have at least, nigga. If you made so what you saying, nigga, you need to be able to.
Hey,
keep that on. Like, I'm mad. Like, nigga, I mean, Gold Digger, Rampage. If you made all that,
funky piano.
Yeah, like if you made all that, please listen to my demo. So, bro, like you made all of that. You made Headbangers. Like, nigga, you made Crossover. You made Brothers from Brentwood, Long Island. Nigga, it's almost like I feel like it's Jay. Like, what do you say to Dame? Yo, you made Jay, we'll make another one. Like, it's that simple. If you made me, nigga, go make another Jay-Z then, Dame. And we ain't seen Dame since. So yeah. Rel, you're rapping again. You're an MC. Who's the dopest MC from 90? I already know who you're gonna say. If anybody who knows Rel, well, you know what? I don't know who you're gonna say because you're also LL's manager. So I don't know, because I'm thinking you, but then you also manage LL. Brown will rumble a nigga over LL. I forgot who he was about to rumble. I am God. Right, he was about to rumble I am God over LL. So,
hey, man.
I don't know which way this is going to go, because he loves Q, but he's LL Cool J's manager. So I don't know which way this is going to go. I'm intrigued now. Rel, who is the dopest MC from 1990?
I'm going to go with Ice Cube on this one, man.
Okay, that says a lot.
Yeah, that do say
No,
a lot.
he named two, but you named two of his albums for that year. So
That makes sense.
Right, but I'm gonna give you a double back on why he could have said LL. But go ahead on the cue.
So the LL thing is like, I was so happy that it was the bounce back, you know what I'm saying, from the previous album that, you know, didn't get received so well. He did that a couple times where he'll have a dud and then bounce back with something crazy.
Yeah.
So Mama Said Knock You Out was crazy, and I was happy for the bounce back. But I just remember in 90, as a young, impressionable 8-year-old, like,
yo, that's crazy that you're listening to America's Most Wanted at 8. Like, yo, that's crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Man, I'm hanging around my older cousins, so whatever they listening to, that's what I'm listening to. And I just thought, I mean, Q was that dude. And then, like, going back as an adult and listening to the material, you know what I'm saying, I got with a slight edge, man, because I like both joints that he put out that year, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like both of them, so I'm gonna have to give it to Q, surprisingly.
All right, Q. All right, Atlanta Vern, who you got? MC of the year.
All right, so my choice is actually Pooh-Bah, but because Ev has already said that, I want to throw this dude out because he never gets his due. I don't know an MC who is articulate and enunciates as well as Brother Jay did in 1990. African,
that's a good one.
very African. I mean, you understood everything he said.
He's a professor.
Yeah, I was like, boom. He could rhyme over a fast beats, like on Day of Outrage. He was just, and then like on slower stuff, he was just flowing with it. I think the thing that doesn't put him in the conversation about dope MCs is because all he ever talked about was blackity black, blackity black. And I would love, well, at the time I would have loved to him just rap, you know. Yeah. But I just want to give him his due today because Pooh-Bah is my guy for 1990, but Brother Jay gets some props from me.
All right, no doubt. DJ Rec 1, who's your MC?
Oh, man. I'm probably going to have to go the underdog and pick Cube, man. Because that shit wasn't
Cube expected. Is the underdog?
That shit wasn't expected.
Oh, okay. From that standpoint, okay.
Yeah, from that standpoint, I told you they rolled him off. Nobody thought that those albums were going to do anything. You know? So I'm going to go with Cube.
All right. Kel, who you got?
I agree with Ev as far as Pooh-Bah, but for this, since he picked Pooh-Bah, I'm going to go with my hometown guy. I'm going to go with L.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Certain things are just obvious to me, and maybe it's just because I've known you since 1992, and I know you bleed Queens the way I bleed Philly, and you have a fucking Q Burrow hat on. I really didn't think you were going to go in any other direction but LL. Like, that would have really shocked me if you could have had on a Queens hat and said another nigga. So, okay, LL.
Yeah,
all right.
Man. I mean,
let's go.
Yeah, him coming back from, kind of what Rubber said, Walking Like a Panther to Mama Said Knock You Out, the Rampage feature, of course, on EPMD, and then the Keith Sweat. I mean, it's probably it's like 91, Why Me Baby, but I mean, him just rhyming. He was coming back, so I thought he was just real visible and, you know, trying to show and prove too.
Right. All right, JR, dopest MC or singer.
No, I was gonna say LL honestly for MC, but singer you gotta do female and male because male I'm gonna give it to Aaron Hall.
Yeah, he killed.
As
That
a
fifth album,
singer
he
in
showed out. He showed out. Yeah.
Yes, he was like killing it. You know what I'm saying? Because they was still hot from the Guy album. So then to come with this, he was still singing. And female, whew,
I'm shocked. I want to know who you're gonna go with because I got somebody, but I'm shocked. I want to know who you're gonna run with. Let me throw my card on the table quick. Whitney. I got Whitney with "I'm Your Baby Tonight."
See, okay, because I mean that's my favorite Whitney album, obviously, but it came out at the end. So I'm trying to think of like the whole 90 and
see that's the youth. Everybody watching when you can think about the whole entire year. Like he's like, I'm not. This is not a diss. This is not this, JR. I see the tone on your face. It's not a diss. I'm just saying, like I can't. I don't even know. JR, if you follow him on IG, this nigga be like, hey, happy anniversary. It's the 27th anniversary of this album. Like, this nigga knows to the days. Like, I don't know when the hell Whitney came out. I just Googled it. It said 1990. I didn't know if it was the beginning or the end of the year. I got Whitney. Who you gonna run with?
Oh, shit. Honestly, I think I'm just going to have to give it to Mariah, honestly.
Okay.
I'm going to have to give it to her. I mean,
that first Mariah album, I feel like is very, very slept on. I feel like a lot of black people, didn't start fucking with Mariah until she went black. Like that curly hair Mariah, she was still white. When she straightened her hair, she went black. So I think
Tommy Mottola's Mariah
didn't with Tommy Mottola's Mariah at that time. I don't think so. I mean, we all know what Love Takes Time and what was it?
Vision of Love.
Like it was, that was that, but I don't think a lot of black folk really started to fuck with Mariah till like, Baby Doll and those type Mariah.
But that's when because she started messing with really the hip hop stuff.
Right, when she turned black. Because when Mariah first came out, here's a question. What does Mariah carry?
She's biracial.
Multiracial. Yeah.
All I know is when she first came out, niggas was like she white. Then by the time
he sold her ass.
Well, then he sold her good. Then he sold good.
But
it's
the same way that they sold Whitney as this prim and proper.
That's right. But I mean, but we knew Whitney was black though. You know what I mean? Like, so Tommy sold her as white. Like, shit, I can't sell Ev as white. Like that nigga black. So I thought that nigga was black. I can't be like, yo, look at that. This new white rapper with that like he black. We all thought Mariah was white. Then she straightened her hair when them curls left. Then Mariah was black. Like, and then she became biracial. Like, you know what I mean? It's like with Tiger. First Tiger was black. Then he became Caucasian or whatever he was. But when niggas first saw you were this. So I just thought she was white. So I think that's why that album slept.
No, okay.
Just me. My MC for the year is LL Cool J. Very close year with Ice Cube, but I just felt like that bounced back from Walking with a Panther. He was dead in the water to me. Like I was like, yo, this boy is dead. This dude got album. This dude think he a singer now. Like this dude is just washed. It's to come back with Booming System. I remember when I first heard Booming System, it was like, yo, this is nasty. He's singing he rhyming over there Vogue John and this joint song. Yeah, like you
in Vogue, Hold On, Booming System the same year.
Right. Yep.
It's like, yo, this dude is doing this, and then I heard Around the Way Girl. To me, Mama Said Knock You Out is one of the greatest albums of the 90s. You know what I mean? Yeah. To me, it's one of the dopest comeback albums. It's one of the dopest albums from the 90s. It was a song on there, and what I loved about it is it's stretched out. You got him barring you, on Eat 'Em Up L or the joint that was live from the rap joint. Then you got Stories, you got Jingling Baby, you got Illegal Search. Like, he gave you the whole cornucopia.
Around the Way Girl.
Yeah, Round the Way Girl. You got the radio song that's not too radio that niggas still ain't banging it in their Jeep. So it just, to me, it's not just a great album. It was like one of the greatest albums of the 90s. So I got LL for that.
Keep going.
This is my old age kicking in because now I gotta go grab the album if you want because I don't forgot stuff. So, but I mean, you got Booming System, Around the Way Girl, Eat 'Em Up, Mr. Goodbar. Yo, let me explain something to you, man. Yeah. Growing up, I ain't have no game. So all my game came from rappers. So L got a line on Mr. Goodbar. I'm an honest nigga, y'all. I do not get on the timeline and act like I was.
Oh,
Mr. Goodbar, this nigga said, what did he say? You got a man. There's something he won't let you out. He's smart enough to have you, but dumb enough to let you out. Mm-hmm. Yo, that line was like so dope to me. Like, yo, you got a man. That's something we won't talk about. He's smart enough to have you, but dumb enough to let you out. I must have used that line a million times. Like, I mean, it just got pathetic after a while. You know what I mean? But I was like, most girls don't listen to the whole album, so they ain't know what they thought was my game. So, you got Murdergram, you got Cheesy Rap Blues, Farmers Boulevard, Mama Said Knock You Out, Jingling Baby, Break to the Break of Dawn, which was crazy. Yeah. 6 Minutes of Pleasure, Illegal Search, The Power of God. This is a crazy album. I know the title cut, Mama Said Knock You Out, was very kind of rockish or whatever, and it wasn't really boom bap, but to me, this was an incredible album, so I had to give L for this album. Producer of the year. Okay. Ev, who was the dopest producer?
Okay.
1990.
I'm gonna say this, and it might start controversy, but you know, I never really.
Why is everything out your mouth controversy? Bro? Like, you start every controversy.
Juice is going. You know what I mean? Just heats it up a little bit. Now, technically, I'm supposed to say Bomb Squad because they had a good run that year, but I'm saying ECERN. Because Business as Usual, that production on that album is fan-fucking-tastic.
But did Eric do it?
But listen, we don't know, so all I can go with is what I know today, and what it says in the credits is Eric Sherman. So
it says Eric Sherman.
I looked it up. So that's what I found. So I got to go with that.
You know you're getting old when you got to use the magnifying glass on your phone.
Check. I looked online. Check it. You got the album in your hand. What does it say in your liner notes?
Yeah, this is getting old. Now it does say produced by Eric. Well, it says produced by Eric Sermon and Paris Smith. It's a funky piano produced by George Spivey, which is DJ Scratch. So it says produced by both of them.
Well, then I'll say both. If it says both, I'll say both. I think that album for that year, production wise for that year, was just phenomenal.
Okay. All right. I gotta go with Marley Marl for this year. Marley did, which was a bounce back album in my opinion for him too, when Mama Said Knock You Out. To me, an MC and a producer with something to prove out here. You got that. You also had Master Ace's Take a Look Around, which I believe in my heart is a 5 mic classic. And you also had Intelligent Hoodlum, album that Kel mentioned earlier. So to me, with those 3 albums, I had to give it to Marley. Atlanta Vern, who do you have for producer of the year?
I'm gonna pick a dark horse. I'm gonna go with Shock G.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, Sex Packets. That album sounded like nothing else, you know. And
you're right about that.
And so what's the other reason? I just like the way it swung. I like the musicality of it. So I'm gonna go with that. Not to say that the other guys y'all picked weren't my picks either, but I just want to add some spice and some variety to it. So I'm gonna go with Shock G.
All right, DJ Rec, who you got?
Are we doing slept on producers?
Yeah, I mean, well, who's your main producer of the year? And if you want to add on a slept on one, that's fine too.
We'll go Tony D, man.
As producer of the year.
Yeah.
Please explain to people who Tony D is.
Did the work on YZ's joint and Poor Righteous Teacher's album.
Man, that YZ album is dope. I don't know how I didn't put that in my list.
Yeah.
This is
Tony D, man. Rest in peace to Tony D.
He was a white boy out of South Jersey. R.I.P. Tony D. Another flex. It's very hard to find album, period. But on CD, it's even harder to find.
That shit from out of his motherfucking estate sale or some shit.
Yeah, so that's who Tony D is.
Did you go to his estate sale or something? Bro, how the fuck did you get that? please tell me.
This nigga said, if you go to his estate sale.
Please tell me, because Look, I've probably only seen that once.
Bro, I tell you, I dig, man. I dig. Yo, if I ever came to your city, man, I'm in pawn shops. I'm in everywhere looking for stuff. So yeah,
you hit the right pawn shop for that one.
Definitely.
All right, so you got Tony D. West Coast Vern, who's your producer of the year?
I'm gonna pick a darker horse. But before that, I just want to mention that in 1990, the Ghetto Boys put out the Ghetto Boys, and ain't nobody mentioned them, including myself.
I think because it wasn't the Ghetto Boys that we knew to love, but because I damn sure didn't know about the Ghetto Boys till a couple years later.
You know what? I won't hold you. I never was a huge fan of their albums. Like, you know, Mom Playing Tricks on Me, of course, crazy, but I just could never get into. Here's the thing, and people give me shit for it all the time, but it is what I've never been a big Scarface fan. Like, I respect what he's done for the game, but I've just never been a big Face. Like, oh my God, I love Face like that. Like, I see it. I respect him, so I give that respect. But you'll never, if there's somebody who you will never hear me playing outside of maybe the shit, you know, Guess Who's Back with Jay, is Scarface. Like, it just didn't speak to me like that. So, you know, that's the only reason why I didn't, you know, the Ghetto Boys, respect them again, you know what I mean? Right. But just was never, you know, fans of their music. And for people watching, I say this all the time on TL. When I say I'm not a fan, y'all hear Kill said they were whack. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a LeBron James fan. One of the greatest basketball players of all time. I hated Michael Jordan. Greatest basketball player of all time. So when I say I'm not a fan, I'm not saying they're whack. I'm just saying, me personally, when I think of a fan, new album coming out, gotta be there, coming to town, gotta see him in concert, to me, that's what a fan is. So, you know, just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I think you're whack. I wasn't a fan of People's Instinctives. You know what I mean? Very dope album. I thought it was a very good, solid debut album. When Low End dropped, that's when I became a fan of Tribe. You know what I mean? So again, I just want to clear that up because y'all know nowadays, if you don't give it 5 mics and you don't say somebody to go, then people just hear, oh, it must be trash then or whatever. So
people are so disingenuous, man. There's no way you can just love every rapper and every rap album to come. It's too much music. I mean, and like you said, if it don't hit your heart, I mean, it's okay. Yeah. Here's what I would challenge anybody to have some problem with what you said. Let me see your playlist and let me see how many times you play this person who y'all such a big fan of. It'll be cricket.
True.
So my producer of the year, it would be the X-Clan. They credited for that To the East Blackwards. I love that album. I've never heard nothing like that in my life. Man. And you know, I didn't understand all the Pan-Africanism, but it just sounded good to me and shit. And it was so weird because you heard that shit everywhere where I'm from, and they didn't know what the niggas was talking about, but they hitting them trucks. It was one of those.
Yo, 2 things. One, I used to go to Black Watch meetings. Like back in the day, I will tell you, they used to call me Kill X. Like I was the most black militant motherfucker in the world. Like literally, like, you know, you try to say Kill, I'd be like, where's the X? Like, yo, it's like my name ain't Muhammad, like my name ain't Cassius Clay no more. It's Muhammad Ali. Like, it's Kill X. And I would debate our Black History features. Like, bro, I'm telling you, man, Chuck had me in my black bag. Oh, big time. Like, like it was Kill X on the block. Like, I can show y'all some pictures. Everything was Kill X. So I used to go to Black Watch meetings. They would have Black Watch meetings. They had a Black Watch chapter in Philly. And my moms would take me to the Black Watch meetings, like down North Philly and everything. Like, that's how big that, like, X-Clan was. That it wasn't just in New York. Like, these dudes had chapters and stuff like that. And 2, I want to shout out Vern, West Coast Vern, because I think one of the myths, and this is what happens when you get on Twitter, about this big East Coast, West Coast divide. And I talk about it a lot, about, you know, East Coast bias and West Coast bias. And I always say for a huge piece of it, I feel like there are times I've been biased because certain times you just have to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I always use the example of Go-Go. When I came to Morgan in 92, all the PG County and DC people were screaming Go-Go and they would play it. I'm like, yo, that's trash. Then you go to a Go-Go. And then you get a whole nother appreciation for it. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times it's like the same thing. Like, I really couldn't get the appreciation for the bass sound until I was watching the show Blind Spotting on, I think, Stars. which is based in the Bay, and it was doing a lot of stuff. So I say all that to say that when I was in LA with Vern and my man Ray, like the history that these brothers have on East Coast hip hop is right there with anybody I know who loves hip hop from the East Coast. And I think it's this thought process, and it may just been me, but I don't think it just is, that we think West Coast people that don't really know the history of East Coast hip hop like that. And I'm telling you, like I just went to LA and just would ask questions and just listen to Vern and Ray talk, and they talk so much about East Coast music. So just for people watching, just it's not always what you may think, like, oh, the West Coast don't really fuck with the East Coast, or vice versa. Like they truly do have a lot of love and respect for the East Coast hip hop and everything like that. So just wanted to shout you out on that, West Coast Vern, for that right there. What's up,
Vern? So to East Blackwoods, I'm a freshman at Georgia State, and nigga, I was Vern Glorious, bro. I had my aunt, I had Boots.
See, y'all laughing at me for being Kill X. This nigga was Vern Glorious.
I mean, that
nigga is damn near a wrestling name. That nigga's like, welcome to the ring, Vern Glorious.
For a semester, I was black till my dad put me on some game. But no, the thing I wonder about the X-Clan album, they must have made 2 nickels off of it, because, bro, how much do you think it cost to clear out them freaking samples on all them P-Funk and Parliament?
But bro, I don't even think they were clearing samples like that in '90, because we're not, and this is what I love about these year shows. When we get to the Biz album, you know what I mean? When we really start that's when everything started getting ahead. Like, same thing with PE. Listen at America's Most Wanted. The average Bomb Squad song got at least 30 samples in it, floating around somewhere. You know what I mean? So I don't even think they were suing people yet. You know what I mean? Because I got a book around here that talks about how it would be impossible to make Paul's Boutique, and it takes $1 million right now. Like that, it would easily cost over $1 million to make those albums just based off of sample clearance by itself. You know what I mean? So, Kel, producer of the year, who you got?
Mark. It's got to be
I don't even know why I'm asking, because it's gonna be somebody from Queens. Like even on a down Marley year, he would have been like, "Fuck, I don't know." It was Paul C, like somebody who is from Queens, and it's a very dope producer. I
started to mention, especially with the Arabian Rakim album, where he put a lot of let the rhythm in, so that could have been an option. No,
that is true, because Paul C's cover is named pictures on the back of the cover of Let the Rhythm Hit Him, because he got murdered while he was working on that album, and then his mentee at that time, Large Professor, came in and kind of finished it off for him. So Paul C wouldn't have been a bad choice either on some Queen shit too. JR, who you got? R&B, hip hop? Who's your producer of the year?
R&B, I got 3, and I think y'all know all of them: Teddy, Jimmy, Terry, and L.A. Reid and Babyface. Yeah. They were it. Like
now, I know Faces. I'm Your Baby. Of course, Teddy is Guy. Where was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in this?
Johnny, Ralph. Who else did they do? They did the Time album. They did what's her name? Sherelle's Affair. Yeah. They did so they was doing it too. So all 3 of them literally was kind of like on the same level. So those 3 were it.
But if you had gun to head, who is it?
Of course, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
Okay. Yeah. All right, no doubt. And Ralph, who you got for producer of the year?
Bomb Squad.
Okay.
Bomb Squad all day. From the PE John to Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite songs of all time came out on that Public Enemy one, Burn Hollywood Burn. I love that song. And then they did stuff with Cube. You know what I'm saying? They was just on fire. And I think I picked them the previous year too, which is interesting. When we did 89. I think I picked them 89 too. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bomb.
You know what? I may have to change my pick. What's up?
I was gonna say that the Bomb Squad. I read something that the Bomb Squad produced Vanessa Williams, The Right Stuff.
Okay.
Maybe a remix. I don't know about the OG. Maybe a remix.
Yeah.
But I was just about to say, I'm gonna have to go Bomb Squad instead of Marley, just because I think people may not understand how hard it is to craft a whole new sound for a whole new artist. Like, you know what I mean? So to be able to give Cube America's Most, you know what I mean, which was an incredible album, and still be able to give PE Fear of a Black Planet, which was an incredible album. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to change my pick to the Bomb Squad because that's a hard thing to do. That's a very hard thing to do. Peep the book, check the technique is volume 2. They talk about how Hank Shockley didn't do a lot of the production on America's Most Wanted. That was actually Eric Vietnam Sandler who did a lot of the production on the album. Hank would just come at the end of the night, kind of listen to what they did, yay it, nay it, add this, and then kind of lead back out. So that's my only problem with like production crews, because you know when you hear Bomb Squad, you think Hank Shockley, so you just assume Hank produced everything, which is why I love Brian Coleman's series Check the Technique, because it really goes into detail to break down who was there, who really did what, who didn't do what, you know, whatever like that. Slept on MC of 90. Who's a slept on MC that nobody talks about from that year?
Master Ace. Master Ace. I'm here for the Ace.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing about the whole Me or the Biz is that the song that we hear was the reference, because Biz was supposed to come to the studio and do those parts, and Ace just rhymed like Biz to let Biz know this is your part and this is what I want you to say, and Biz just never showed the fuck up, and it was like, fuck it, keep it, and we'll get this puppet and we'll take it.
It was fucking genius though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, because I remember thinking the song is called Me and the Biz and Biz ain't in it, and you rapping like you Biz, so you know, years later to hear that.
I want to throw a quick thing of that. Nobody mentioned this album at all, and I thought it would come up. Taste the Chocolate.
Shut up, man. There you go, nigga.
Somebody got Taste the Chocolate in y'all. One of y'all got.
Yo, man.
I bought the album.
Oh, I think we all brought the album.
No. No, we all didn't.
You ain't buy the album, bro.
Yeah, I didn't buy that album. I didn't buy that album.
Yo, come on, y'all.
My friend had like
coming off into a Big Daddy thing and only hearing I Could Do It Right. Y'all ain't even bothered to buy the album?
No. He had a shirt off, dude.
I didn't get that either.
Hey, like the one said, no.
I think that's actually how I got hip to King T, because I bought the tape. I bought the At Your Own Risk tape.
That was my jam. Now that,
man, y'all hard body out here, man. I always said Kane died of the Samson thing. He cut that high top and got them twists, and it was just downhill after that, man. Like
you got to remember too, bro. You didn't take chances on albums, man. I mean, you couldn't.
I heard I Can Do It Right, and I was like, well, I'm not in love with it, but you also got to realize I'm a dark skinned nigga. This nigga was Rosa Parks, nigga. I'm on the fucking Underground Railroad. We came to the wheels fall off. Like, you know, you ain't gonna escape slavery and then go back and Rosa fucking lose somebody. You be like, fuck it, we done with you, nigga. You done lost 2 of us. Like, nah, I'm gonna rock out with you. Like, nigga, you have changed my life. Kane changed my life. So maybe I felt more of an allegiance to this nigga being the dark skin than the average nigga.
I mean, he called the album Taste of Chocolate. That was a
man, you know, here's no Ab one of them slaves who got the freedom, and Rose was like, come on back, Ab. He was like, nope, I'm here, I'm good. Deuces.
I came up, they gotta come up like I came up.
Yeah. Deuces, I keep the lights on for you, you know, whatever.
Get off. It's time to get off this ride. I'm gonna get off right here.
I got off after Taste of Chocolate. After that, I was like, okay, bro, I appreciate what you did for my life. You know, love you, brother, but now you done took it 2 steps too far. When that nigga was like in the that nigga was like a vampire. That the next Prince of Darkness was like he was a vampire. I said, oh yeah, this nigga done lost his goddamn mind. Yeah. Well, he came with Don't Curse, which was cool, but then the video, like, but again, timing, because you fast forward 4 years, then that's how Jay-Z was dressing and everybody loved it. You know what I mean? We wasn't ready for it. Vern, slept on MC from that year.
I think the same one that I gave Brother J again, because nobody ever talked about it. Yeah.
All right. Rec, slept on MC.
King T.
Okay.
Man about that. Man. Funky piano or played like a piano, whatever you want to call it. At your own risk. I just think he was a dope MC. And cats do not talk about that, man. I ain't gonna put some other shit out there, but cats don't talk about it.
Well, no, put it out there, nigga. What you got? Ev here. He want the controversy. What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, that How Big talked about. How Big? Yeah, we spoke on that. How Big said
that's all I'm gonna say.
Was a big influence.
Big influence, but nobody talk about it.
Right. Nah, I feel you. West Coast Vern slept on MC that year.
I think my man Parrish, he was another political rapper from the Bay. He had a dope album. And
you said Parrish. I thought you said Parrish. I'm like, oh, we back.
No,
Parrish. Yeah, the devil made me do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a cool album.
My man from Menace.
Yeah, I ain't mad at Parrish for that. Cal,
okay. Always get them.
Who you got?
Chubb Rock.
Okay. Treat him right. I hear you, man.
Man, yeah, heck yeah.
What's your take on D Nice? Did he write that?
My name is D. Like, did he write the whole album?
Yeah.
I think Shred said he wrote one.
Whoa. I know on the second album. You're thinking Time to Flow. On the second album, Time to Flow, Tretch definitely wrote that, because as soon as you hear that beat had no KG all over it in this whole flow. I'll say this. Call Me D Nice was to me very elementary. Dope song. Not dissing it, but nigga, if you ain't write that, then
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of the biggest songs. Like, if you can't write Call Me D Nice, nigga, I don't know. Like, so, you know, when he came out with Time to Flow, everybody watching this, Google Call Me D Nice, then listen to Time to Flow. You're gonna hear two totally different MCs. I mean, like, he had that Tretch flow. He was in the pocket over that beat. Call Me D Nice. He should have wrote this. Like, if he didn't, then this is just bad. Yeah. But very, very dope album. Crumbs on the Table, TR-808. Slept on album right here. JR, slept on MC or slept on singer from that year?
With Layla. From 1990, I would say Layla. Nobody talks about her debut at all, so like that. So I would say Layla would be underrated.
Okay, and Rel, slept on MC?
Tragedy, Intelligent Hulu.
Okay.
Arrest the President, Back to Reality. Pretty good, dope album to me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of gets overlooked. You know what I'm saying? But it was real dope debut. So I'm gonna go with Tragedy. Before he was Tragedy Gaddafi, it's Intelligent Hulu.
Yeah. Right. One thing I give credit to MCs like Paris, Brother J, Chuck D, that they held their own. You know, even when like Vern said, the biggity, bliggity, black shit got played out, they didn't change. My beef with Tragedy was he went from the intelligent hoodlum, arrest the president, he's the drug dealer, then now this nigga Tragedy Gaddafi, and he the drug dealer. Like, nigga, you know, how you flip that? Like, you know what I mean? So I always give those MCs, because basically their careers ended because they didn't adapt to the time where they could have. You know what I mean? And they didn't. You know what I mean? So I always give them credit for that. Tell me this, Ev. 1990, that year in hip hop. What does it mean to you? What was your vibe from hip hop that year? Where were you at? Like how Vern is saying he was going to graduating high school, going to college. Like, what was 90 for you? Like, how old were you in 1990?
1990. I don't even remember how old I was. This was my freshman year in high school.
So you were 14.
Yeah, like 14. It was a very important year because during that time, during the 80s, you know, I got into hip hop early 80s. maybe a little bit late 70s, but I got in with my sister. I was like, I had an older sister. She was the one she was the first person that had the BDP tape, and it just took off from there. And, you know, during that time, from the late 80s, she kind of went off and she was in high school. She was going to King. She's doing her own thing. She got more into R&B. I stayed in the hip hop. And by the time I got to high school, it was like whatever I was bringing it. So during that time, I was on my own digging. I was doing my own research. And I was coming home every day, checking out the, you know, BT. I don't know if BT was even out during that time, but whatever.
Yeah, BT was out. Rap City was on.
The Rap Cities, the Yo MTV Raps. You know, so that was a lot of information for me. But for me, it was a super important year because it was one of those pivotal times that really started to define or assisted me to define who I was musically, like what I was attracted to and why I was. Because I also was into my pop's records at the same time. So, you know, two of those things kind of, you know, just kind of crossed paths. So for me, it was a very important year. And, you know, first year in high school, and, you know, you're influenced by what your people listening to, or people that you meet, what they're listening to, what the older cats were listening to, and then what you were listening to. And a lot of times it connected, but all the time it didn't. Which was still, you know, during that time too, was still cool because during that, I would say that time period was so important because you had different variations of hip hop. Everybody wasn't doing the same thing. You had gangster shit, you had your street shit, you had your party shit, you had your have fun, you had your conscious music. You had a lot of different variations, and no one was necessarily shitting on anybody else. Everyone had their own lane and respected everybody else's lane. So you know, for me, it was a very important time where you could choose where you wanted to be and who you wanted to be. Right. So that '90s was that, you know, just to reiterate, that was like one of the very most important times in my life. Now for the R&B though, it just was because, you know, 1990, I think I didn't really get into R&B until my sophomore year because then I had my high school girlfriend, and then I started making my tapes. So that's the whole difference, you know, when it came to that. But 1990s, that year of 1990 was super, super important.
All right, no doubt. Vern, Atlanta Vern. 90 to you, what's the feel of music for you? You're in Atlanta at this time now, right?
Yeah,
Graduating high school. Okay.
Yep. So the first thing that I think about when I look at some of the albums I put on this list was the graduation party at Winston Brown's backyard.
I love the fact that you remember these niggas' names from 30 years ago, man.
Oh yeah, easily, yeah. I remember them rocking BBD. I remember when Hold On came on, like the crew of us just was singing the intro, and then when that beat dropped, we all just and then doing the Humpty dance, man. I mean, this was a very, very fun time in my life. And then you bleed into freshman year at Georgia State. I could see myself in the parking lot across from the club called Texas with Brand Nubian, somebody bumping it out of their car, man. So what else? Then in the future, you know, mess with your girl. So you bump that album, and then the revival, It Never Rains, and Layla. So that was a great time in my life and a great time for music, and it's one of the top years. Now that I look at everything, man. So time capsule. This year is a time capsule.
All right, no doubt. DJ Rec One. How old were you in '90, and what was the vibe like for you?
I was 12, man. That was the year I became invested in hip hop. Bought my first CD, bought my first couple albums, started DJing. Not necessarily DJing in the sense of what I do now, but like actually taking a interest in wanting to, you know, express myself on some turntables. So that was big because that shaped the remainder of my life to this day. So, you know, I tell people all the time, like, you have a starting point in hip hop. And that year was my starting point in hip hop, to where I became invested. Because once you start spending money and spending time, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You invested. So that 90 for me is the beginning. That's the beginning.
West Coast Vern, how old were you, and what does it mean to you?
90, it's like everybody said, more or less. It was very pivotal. I was a sophomore in high school. A lot more independence. Mom's not really tripping on what I'm listening to. I got a little pocket so I can buy what I want and explore everything. Plus, with the R&B side, you want to your homecoming dances, and you really trying to tighten up the situation as far as that goes. So it was just it's the soundtrack to your moment. You know what I mean? Like this whole episode brought back so many memories of different times somebody named a record, and I flash back to where I heard it or what I was doing when I heard it. So yeah, 90. I could say that probably was my beginning too. I think I picked up the pen a little bit around 91. So, yep.
All right, no doubt. Kel, how old? What were you? What was 90 meant for you? Especially being from Queens. Tell me a Q Burrow story. I know there's some I saw LL at the McDonald's, or I saw Morley. I know there's some Q Burrow story. And
yeah, I was 16, sophomore high school. Almost what most of you guys are saying too. I mean, there's a diversity of music and stuff. Of course, here you see L and stuff like that. Run DMC is still in the mix, even though I think that's
I want to say it's the Raising Hell album.
Yeah. Actually, it's after that.
Back from Hell.
Back from Hell album. Yeah, Back from Hell. Right, the Avenue.
That's the one where Jam Master Jay had dreads. That's when we started. That was enjoying the ad, and I fucked with the ad. I like that.
That was dope.
I like the ad. That's also when the afros and all them started coming out.
Oh God! Afro. DJ Hurricane in them.
Yeah.
Hurricane. Yep. Hurricane. Right. But yeah, you got that aspect of things, and then you have, I think, kind of what you were saying, Kill, about Blackwatch. So Blackwatch is very present all over New York, obviously, like it says in Philly. You got Black Israelites, you have 510, you got all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You got all that stuff.
I grew up in Far Rockaway before I moved to Jersey.
Oh, there you go. So and so you got that aspect of things all coming together, and you got East Coast, got West Coast, different styles. Well, even on the East Coast, just in the different flows of different. I think to me it's the most diverse year of hip hop. You got Afrocentric. You got, like you said, you got
Kwame,
Chubb. Yeah, exactly. Master Ace. Then you got your lyricists. You got Rakim, you got Kane, got G-Rap, KRS, you got all that stuff. So you got all that stuff, all flavors. Everybody's winning. There's no segregation, I guess, of the radio too, of course, in that aspect. So, where today you have like one style just being played, as opposed to everybody's getting played and stuff.
Right.
But I think to me it was just you kind of look at, it was expressive. So it was like, no matter what you want to do, or what you're saying, you even got Hammer. You want to go that angle. So you got everything. And Queens is just is New York, so it's kind of universal in the sense where we've got our own sound and stuff, but at the same time you have different flavors that you can rock with as well. So I think I love 90. 90 might be, when you brought this up, I think 90 might be my favorite year now, because I think just because obviously 88. But it's probably the best hip hop year as far as classes go. But 90, I think, is just very diverse as far as like different genres of hip hop.
All right, no doubt. JR, what about you? 90 as far as hip hop or R&B, whichever one you want to touch on.
Well, I think this is when I really started understanding that in my household anyway, when the hip hoppers in my house started respecting R&B a little bit more than normal. You know what I mean?
When you say the hip hoppers in your house, explain.
Like my dad and my uncle, they were like the hip hop dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool that my mom was the R&B head, but it was like they didn't mind listening to Guy. They didn't mind listening to Poison. They didn't mind listening to that. So my house has started looking that's when the R&B and hip hop started. And it started to be like, okay, all right, this is what my childhood is gonna look like. Because my mom is gonna play all these R&B records, but I know my dad is gonna play EPMD. He's gonna play LL. He's gonna play All for One. He's gonna play, all these. So it's like I'm getting this. I'm getting both. So
how old were you in 90?
Huh?
How old were you in 90?
4.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm out. Yo, peace. I'm out. I'm out.
My man was 4.
That nigga said 4. Like, it's so funny because he's talking. I'm like, okay, like you 12, 13. I'm like, wait a second. No, because I know I was 16. I know I was 16.
Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. We did a whole show. JR broke down things in 1990 that I didn't know. And you were 4?
Yeah.
Bro, hey, I'm sorry, Ev. You haven't been around lately. Here's this nigga is a time traveler. Like, this nigga was like in studio sessions. This nigga was in studio sessions with Buddy Holly. This nigga was the recording engineer for the Twist. This nigga, like, go just Google different R&B sessions and you gonna see JR. You gonna be like, is that motherfucking JR?
JR, have you ever seen that movie Looper or Forrest Gump? You'll see JR. Everything big event in music.
Oh yeah.
JR is somewhere in this good day. Yeah, that great day in Harlem. Like, that nigga somewhere in the picture. Like, the same age. He don't age. He always this age right here. You'll find him. Because you're exactly right. All that stuff about 1990, and he was 4 years old.
Crazy.
I mean, but it should be a shock because he can break down 56 and who was in the studio with James Jamerson, and you know what strings he had on his bass.
Yo, you don't understand. Halfway through this show, I'm sitting here like, oh shit, was JR alive in 1990? Like, I don't even know if this nigga was here. Like, so yeah, the 4 is better than this nigga didn't exist yet. So, but yes, this nigga's an alien. Another reason everybody should follow him, especially about R&B, because
for real,
I was in 1978. I was 4, and I can't tell you shit about that year. So there you go. And I'm sure JR.
Speaking of, my bad.
See what I mean? This nigga wasn't even alive, and this nigga talking about speaking of it. It was good. Yeah, nigga, I don't remember it, and I was here. So here we go again, just back in time. So I'm just trying to get JR to give me the winning lottery numbers for 4 years from now. So I can find out who to invest in next. Rel, what was 90 like for you? I know you said you were 8. So what was 90 like for you?
For real,
that's crazy, Vern. Right? You're going to college, and this nigga's 8. Like, yeah, we all
4. Not even 8.
JR going to kindergarten.
Yeah, JR going to
kindergarten. Yeah.
JR getting a goddamn sippy cup, nigga. You drinking a 40 in the parking lot. Like,
that's wild.
Vern smoking weed, drinking 40. This nigga eating a fucking Lunchable. Lunchables weren't even invented. This nigga, I don't even know if
graham crackers.
Lunchables wasn't even invented.
They ain't had Lunchables back.
Yeah, they didn't have Lunchables. I was telling one of my students something about Skittles. I was like, I remember when Skittles were invented. And my students was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, I remember. I was like, yo, these some fake M&Ms. Like, what's a Skittle? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when candies were still being invented, like that. But, right, bro. So you're 8. What's 90 mean for you?
I mean, I'm in the 3rd grade at Prince Hall Elementary in Philly, and I'm following around my older cousins, man. Like, hip hop got introduced to me by them. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they're listening to, whatever they into is what I'm into, and what, you know, my introduction to a lot of it. So I was 8 years old listening to stuff I probably shouldn't have as an 8-year-old, but you know, I was able to be around my cousins, and when they would go up to the mall, they would go to Chilton Mall, they would go, you know, wherever. I was able to go with them because they were so much older than me, you know what I'm saying? So they would look after me. But on the hip hop side, it's just like, listen to the albums we name. It's like, none of this shit is like the same. It's just so much diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just reiterates, like, you know, back then, like, you had to be yourself. You had to be different. And like, biting was like, you know what I'm saying? Biting is like kind of like cool to some people now. Like, biting back then, that was a death certificate. You know what I'm saying? So you had so many original styles and different genres or subgenres of hip hop, like, that were popping at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is 90 is a good transition year, because it's about to transition into something else. we get to the later years in the 90s. So I didn't even realize how much good stuff came out in 1990 until I started researching for the topic. So, that's where I'm at with it. I mean, I wish, like, I hear y'all stories. I wish I was like more off the porch during these times. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was coming up during the golden era. Like I you know what I'm saying? That experience had to be priceless coming up in, 88, 90, 91, you know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah, I was out with my cousins, but I couldn't do so much, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Street lights came on, I'm back to the crib, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
And for me, 90 is just such a crazy year. That was like the year, that's the year that, I lost my virginity. So it was a wrap after that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all in. Like, you can't tell me shit now. Like, it went from hearing your old heads talk about getting some. Now you could join in on that conversation. 90 is the year. I gotta make this sound more thugged out than it was. Yo, 90 is the year I left the crib, yo. Like, yo, like I used to be like, yo, I ran away. And niggas was like, yo, you ran the fuck away? Like, nigga, you gotta make that shit sound thorough than you ran away. Nigga, you sound like some white kid in the suburbs. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta thug that shit out. Like, 90 the year I left the crib. You know what I mean? Like, yo, me and my mom was beefing, and I went to
You ran away?
Yeah, dead ass.
Literally ran away.
Yeah, dead ass. Like, it is stupid too, because what happened? Here's the thing, like it's a bad story because you want to make it sound thorough, but it's kind of thorough. I went to my grandmother's house. See, I don't know if running away. Like, usually when you hear run away, it's like, I was in the shelter, like yo, I was KRS, I was sleeping on the train and shit. I went to my grandmother's house. Funny story. So my man, this is how listening to your homeboys will get you in trouble. My man Sean told me that if you unplug the cable box from the telephone cord in the wall, you could order pay-per-view for free and it wouldn't come up. So I tried that with like some wrestling event or something like WrestleMania, and what happened was I opened the cable bill to see if it was on there, and it was on there, and I was like, fuck. But I had the money, so it wasn't no big deal. But again, during that time, I'm Kill X, and my mom had like one of them dashiki bags, so I was rocking her bag, so I threw it in the bag and kept it moving. Later on, my mom's found it. She thought I was trying to hide the bill from her, so she was like, yo, you on punishment for the rest of the summer. I can't trust you. You can't do shit. Keep in mind, I just told y'all I just got some for the first time. Nigga, I'm going to risk it all. So I went in the basement, I grabbed up my CD player, I washed some clothes, I went out the back door, and I just left. And I stayed away that whole summer. And I was an asshole for it. Like, to this day, I really need to apologize to my moms because, like, it was totally disrespectful to her. But, I'm a 15-year-old kid who just got some for the first time. You can't tell no boy who just got his first piece of ass, you are going to come to me with every jazz rehearsal with me this summer and just think I'm going to live like that. Like, nah. So 90 is the year that I left the crib. Like, I'll say that I left the crib. So all of this stuff that Master Ace, Take a Look Around. I was staying with my grandmother, but I was staying with my old head. So I was running with niggas when I was a sophomore in high school. I was running with niggas who were already at Morgan State. So I was running with people. I'm 16, but I'm running with people who are already 18, 19, and 20. So just all of this music just fit into that. And I mean, just everything that everybody already said. I mean, I'm getting my license now, so I'm driving. So, banging these slow jams, in the whip. Like Ev said, making your slow jam tapes. My joints were called 90 Minutes in Timberland, 90 Minutes of Knocking Boots. You know what I mean? Like, so we had those tapes popping. So again, just what everybody said, just when you look at this, Forever Black Planet is super black. America's Most Wanted is super black. EPMD has nothing to do with blackness at all. These niggas are talking about gold diggers and Rampage, and LL is not black at all. This nigga's still the sex symbol with my shirt off cover, which I'm still not believing Evan Vern ain't buy it because Kane had his shirt off, but LL had his shirt off.
I bought the Hammer joint. I bought Hammer, but I ain't buy that other stuff.
The 3 times dope got nothing to do with blackness. So again, it's just everything is just cool this year. Everything and again, like Rel said, things are about to change. And this is like the next episode. So once we get into 91, we're going to see some different changes. By the time we get to 92, we're starting what I call the Heineken and blunt era of hip hop, where if you ain't smoking blunts or you ain't drinking a Heineken, like, you know what I mean? That's probably more 93, 94. 92 is still 40 in a blunt. 92 is my 40 in a blunt year. You know what I mean? Because cats are drinking St. Ides, cats are seeing Boys in the Hood. So we're going to talk about how this kind of changes. And that's why I want to do these episodes so that people can kind of start to see. Basically, like I always said, it's what Com said, and I used to love it. Like, Com literally broke down how hip-hop changed throughout all the years from the beginning up until like probably 93, 94, and everything like that. All right, Dope Show, y'all. Rel, you are an MC. You are picking up the mic. Tell people what's going on with your project. How's it coming? What's going on? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely. Got beats from Kill, some from Rec. So I'm putting it together. I got a couple songs done. Going through some mixing, and gotta get a couple sessions with Kill, but it's getting done. It's getting done. So you know what I'm saying, be on the lookout.
All right, no doubt. Kel, the source. Where can they get at you? Where can they follow you? What's going on with you? What's the Knicks gonna do this year? What's going on? Nigga, I don't want to talk about the Sixers. Good.
You know about the Sixers either. I'm there.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Big Kel, and on Twitter, Kelvin Davis Sr. The Knicks, yeah, we don't want to talk about that, but that's all good.
All right, JR, what's going on with you in your world?
R&B reps, that's what's going on. I'll catch that. Minis, catch that. Regular, catch that. A couple people on here coming back on, which is dope. Yeah, I'm just loving this. I'm loving that people really enjoying it. I mean, at least are really getting into songs and getting into albums. I think it's dope. So we got a couple of big interviews that's coming up, which I'm excited about. And just follow us at the R&B Reps on Twitter, R&B Representatives on Instagram, and JR Gorilla Soul on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, no doubt. West Coast Vern. Me and this man is cooking right now as we speak. Idle Minds. Talk a little bit about it, good brother.
5 songs, man, in and out, but you're gonna love it. I'm not giving nothing away. It's crazy though. Juneteenth, 2022. And once again, Kip, thanks for having me, man. Nice seeing a couple of y'all. I ain't seen JR in a minute. You know, Brian. So yeah, but nice to see Rec, shit, everybody. So nice to see y'all, and thanks for having me. This was a real dope show. I like how you lining them up.
Yo, tell them where they can get at you, where they can get the Serene, where can they get all the albums, the band camp, everything.
It's right here in the thing at What Up Vern on Twitter. Anywhere that is, it's a link under there, and it leads you directly to all my work. I appreciate it. I'm looking for Kel shit when it drops too. So much success on that, good brother. And yeah, let's do it again.
All right, DJ Rec 1, you're spinning live on Twitch. I swear, Twitch wants your social security, your fucking blood type. Getting a Twitch account is like, I don't know if it's the damn FBI or what. Are they the feds? I'm like, are y'all looking to capture like niggas who got warrants out? Like, but talk a little bit about Twitch. What days are you on Twitch live? Everything like that.
So I'm on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I normally rock about 90 minutes to 2 hours. Just depends on how I'm feeling for that night. But it's been crazy, man. The last 3 weeks, the response, man. I'm just blessed to have that kind of response because I'm doing nothing but spinning the shit that I fuck with in my room.
Like we took over the chat. We took over the chat last night, bro.
So Wednesday's show was insane, man. Again, Rel, thank you. Whoever came through, whoever's watching this, like, it was insane. Like, my uncle watches my fucking show. And my uncle was one of the first ones to actually just be in the room watching me practice, you know what I'm saying, day in and day out. I come home from basketball practice, take a shower, do my homework, hop on the turntable. So it's full circle, man. But Twitch, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. The radio shows is getting a little bit crazy. I'm gonna have to start doing something because I can't keep up right now. I just got 2 more shows, and I'm gonna have to figure something out, kid. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Good problem to have, though. That's a good problem.
Yeah, it is a good problem to have.
Here's the thing, bro. Like I said, and I love to see the progression of everybody up here because when I met you, Rec, you weren't on the radio.
I wasn't anywhere.
So, like I said, it's just about the progression of everything. You know what I mean? So I think that's the dope thing about it. So like Ev said, that's a great problem to have, to go from I'm not on the radio to goddamn, I'm on the radio too much. So, you know, definitely a good problem to have.
Salute on that, Red.
I hear you.
I said salute on that. That's good shit.
Oh, appreciate it, man. I gotta get with you so I can get some of these joints for one of the shows. I've been wanting to do a show for indie artists to show love because I know how the struggle is. So I'm trying to get with any and all indie artists, man. Send it to me.
You need to do a 90s show, bro. Like something like that we can tag on to this. You know what I mean? So people get the soundtrack. People get the soundtrack to everything that we talking about. You know what I mean? So that would be dope right there.
Once this little red light goes off, we'll talk about it.
All right, no doubt. Atlanta Vern, the closer, buying houses, selling houses. He does it all in Atlanta. I don't know. This nigga probably selling houses in Philly by now. Where can they get at you?
Instagram at the Lone Closer on Instagram and on Twitter, VChandler10. Appreciate it, man.
Quick question: do you want Ben Simmons?
What do we have to give up to get him? If it's for a bag of basketballs and some wings, yeah, I'll take them.
I think the asking price may be a little bit higher than a bag of basketballs and some wings. But who even puts those two things together? Like basketball and some wings. Like that's like saying like 4 bowling balls and some fries. Like where did you even?
Because I think somebody asked me this on Twitter, and those are the exact things I said. I mean, bro,
that's the first thing that came to mind.
Are you crazy? I wouldn't give up nothing of value for the dude, man. You don't even know if he's going. Oh, never mind. We ain't got to go down.
Right.
Right. Go. Yeah.
Oh
man. Ev, where can they get at you? Because what happens is you come here, you start a lot of shit. You that wild ass cousin that come on the block, start all this shit, and you go back home. You go back home on Sunday night, and now I'm left to deal with all the shit you done started all weekend. So where can they get at you, good brother?
You get at me at Kill 889.
That's exactly who you are. You come over, start all this trouble, getting girls pregnant, shooting at niggas, then you leave, and niggas knocking on my door like, nigga, I don't know where my cousin, I don't know what that nigga did.
Yeah, on Twitter, Mental151 on Twitter, on Instagram, Evasis.
All right, and can you talk a little bit about what you have going on with The Prophet and what that is?
Well, we're doing a theater piece entitled Prophet, talking about the journey of the MC/lyricist. We're not talking about rappers, we're talking about MCs, and we're looking at it from the artistic perspective because they don't get an artistic lens like that. The premiere goes up in New York October 6th, 7th, and 8th at Abrams Art Center in Lower East Side. Also, we're doing dates in Troy, New York, Pittsburgh. Okay. There's some stuff set up for next year. For these dates too, what we're doing is it's more than just doing the show. We're also doing some community engagement stuff. So we're going to have panel discussions. I got the infamous Kill 889 that's going to be there as well, facilitating some of these discussions with us. So just look out for that. We still got a few months, and we're still doing a lot of work for it. So, and there's a book and an album coming too for that project as well. So I'll keep everybody abreast as it comes to fruition.
No doubt. So we will be coming to a city near y'all out there to see this piece. That's definitely dope. You already know it is me, Kill 889, Twitter, IG. Again, got some stuff with Rel that we just gotta get a session straight over here. Vern, me and him been talking 2, 3, 4 times every day for the past 3 weeks. Literally, the idea came when I was in Cali 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the album's damn near done. You know what I mean? And every morning, this nigga sends me something that's just better than the last one, and it's just like, damn, this nigga, you know, is really in his bag. So, like you said, Juneteenth this year, we'll be dropping that. Appreciate all y'all, man. I'll check y'all next week, man.